Check 1 2, check 1 2. I guess audio is working now, right? Is there any music in the background? You cannot hear the music either. So the background music that was running the whole time was just like, yeah, you should be hearing me now, right? It's fucking OBS. Like, Jesus Christ. It just like starts fucking with me every time. So you can't hear the music. So you're just watching the thing. Oh, for fuck's sake. Now it works. Okay, but you can't hear the music, right? Alright, let me see if you can actually hear the music. No, you can't. I don't think you can. That should be this thing here. Nope. Alright, give me a second. For some fucking reason. So, you should... I thought... Yeah, you can hear music now, probably. So... The stream was like... It wasn't just like no sound and just like a video. It was this song here. Well, let me find it. Let me find it. A track that I did that I really like. It was supposed to hype you up for the stream. And then, after the stream started, I was supposed to, and I told you, how are you all feeling? Because I really want to know how you guys are feeling, because I feel like shit. And that was like the joke. Fuck me, fucking OBS, dude. Alright, let me play the music. How are you guys? Because we can hear each other now. Jesus Christ. Nah, like, I was stressing, dude. I was stressing. Yeah, it was supposed to be loud. It was supposed to be like banging and yeah. Fucking hell. It was supposed to hype you up. So how are you guys feeling? Tell me. Please. Oh damn, too loud. Sorry about that. Yeah, it was about to, it was supposed to hype you up. Gentis, it's going. I don't know where it is going, but it is going, apparently. Also, why is this not centered? I want to center it. There we go. It is centered now. No, it's not. No, it is not. Everything is fucked up. Okay, this is a bit more centered, I guess. I feel like shit. I have slept since 12 p.m. up until like 4 p.m. So that's my life now, I guess. Because I was like, every time when I finish a stream, I need to record the whole stream from YouTube, because like there's no, there's no tools that I can find to download the whole thing in 4K. So I gotta record it for 3 hours, and then I gotta edit it to make like smaller reaction videos. And my PC keeps on crashing because it's not a PC, it's fucking Adobe. 318, let me check. I don't know. Not here. I don't have it. So, yeah. So I wanted to dedicate this podcast, or this whatever, stream today to the future of Star Citizen. We're gonna react to a couple of videos that we have on the backlog, because I started... Yeah, I never sleep, Blaze. I never fucking sleep. I am like evil, because evil never sleeps. Anyway, I wanted to dedicate this podcast to the future, near future, and far future. The end of 2023 or the beginning of 2024 is going to be the far future, of course. And before that, we have a backlog of videos that we gotta react to, because you guys asked me to. Some of them are gonna be too long, so we're gonna skip those. But we didn't react to Inside Star Citizen yesterday because, yeah. Thank you, Sean. Thank you. I don't know. Okay, it's showing here. Nice. So, yeah. Inside Star Citizen, I was waiting on the yesterday's stream. I was waiting for the video to drop so I can react to it, and it dropped like the minute when I ended the fucking stream. But yeah. Love your channel. I wish you'd talk about my favorite game play in Star Citizen, floating in my ship while drinking margaritas. Yeah. That's gameplay for sure. Immersion's gameplay. Is it true that Star Citizen has been running on Crysis graphics engine up until today? Yes. Star Citizen is based on Crytek's engine, well, which is called CryEngine, from back in the day, 2012. And then CAG got a bunch of devs, from what I remember. Like, this is off the top of my head. You can fact check it. Some of it is probably gonna be wrong, but from what I remember, CAG got a bunch of devs from Crytek, employed them, and that was a big no-no. So Crytek sued them. I think Crytek won, and then Amazon asked CAG if they wanna use Lumberyard. So CAG was starting transferred everything to Lumberyard. Lumberyard is basically a modded version of the CryEngine. And then once that finished, at one point actually, CAG started working on their own engine that is based on Lumberyard, that is based on CryEngine, and currently it's called Star Engine. So that's the thing. ISC will depress me. Why do you say so? Why? It is so hard to depress a depressed man. Anyway, let's start it off. Let's just not chill. We're gonna chill a bit later, I guess. This is the thing that I want to click. Can you hear the microphone? Yes, you can. All the scenes are gonna be fucked up now. Honestly, I don't know if this is gonna work. Well, let me see if... Yeah, you can hear this, right? Right, nice.
Hello everyone, welcome to Inside Star Citizen. I'm Jared Huckabee, and this is it. It's the end of the year. The much anticipated Alpha 3.18 is being hammered away on by developers and citizen testers alike, and it's that time where we look back and reflect on many of the more memorable events and additions to the Star Citizen experience in a special episode we like to call the Star Citizen Year in Review 2022. Because sometimes you just call a thing what it is. Let's get to it.
Because sometimes you just call a thing what it is. All right, we're gonna call it what it is. We're gonna say exactly what it is. I'm here for the grumpy Star Citizen game loop. All right. All right, prepare yourselves. This ship at the start was useless in this year. This whole ship was completely fucking useless. All of these shots were done in engine, but with dev tools and they're camera tools. Dumpster fire. Okay. For a second there, I thought that you lost sound. All of this is done in engine, yes, but with dev tools, and we cannot have we don't have this kind of game loop gameplay in the game. Oh, is this the M50 that was supposed to get... No, this is the Merlin. But the M50 was supposed to get, exchangeable thrusters in the back. And then they just dropped it.
We'll start things off with some of the big ticket feature items, and perhaps none were bigger than the server cap increase.
Data Runner, Explorer, Corvette. This thing actually works. It does what it's supposed to do, but these... don't.
Which saw the persistent universe population increase from 50 to 100, paving...
Okay, so we're starting off with the increase of the population. So, yeah, flashy cinematics. That's not the game that we're playing. This is the game that we're playing. Naked people with fucking monocles and top hats and shit like that. So, the increase was good. Yes, because you can like see more people now. You can interact with more people now. But also, the desync is so bad that it's so bad that you can see how broken the game is even more now that you can interact with more people. Because now you can see all the people that are fucking teleporting around.
The way for things like Siege of Orison,
Hey, Remy.
changing the dynamic for events like Jumptown. As you can see here, the collective re-entry of 100 simultaneous spacecraft and the loudest I've ever heard the VFX
Huh? This looks nice, but
I've ever heard
why did this guy explode?
simultaneous spacecraft and the loudest I've ever heard the VFX team
This guy probably just like lagged into somebody.
giggle. And let me tell you, they're gigglers.
No, is this like... I think this was an explosion,
Loudest
right?
I've ever
Yeah, this is an explosion. But they're also dropping
heard
flares.
the VFX team giggle.
Right?
And let me tell you, they're gigglers. Player Refueling
It looks
also
nice.
made its debut in 2022, enabling the peer-to-peer profession that allows for a new way to help your fellow citizens.
First off, where is this set? Where is this? This is Pyro, right? We don't have Pyro. Secondly, yes, we have refueling. It's pretty buggy, but it works. But also, there's no point in refueling with the Starfarer because why would you? You can just refuel on the station and you're good. And again, cinematics.
Enabling the peer-to-peer profession that allows for a new way to
Fucking looks amazing in the cinematics, but also when you play the game, you start seeing how janky it is.
help your fellow citizens and make a buck along the way. An important step ahead for the upcoming inclusion of the Pyro system, where
The upcoming inclusion of the Pyro system. Roads to Pyro.
gas stations will be few and far between in the wide open and desolate wastes, where anarchy reigns and everyone must fend for themselves. It's basically Los Angeles on Black Friday. In addition to refueling, the arrival of mining gadgets brought
The most pointless thing ever. It solves a problem that like does not exist. Why do we have those? Are we using these? What are we using these for?
another refinement to that
I have so many questions. Oh, we're using these
providing new and improved
so we can
means
buy
for
fucking 1,000 of them so we can break a 9-ton rock with our mining tool, with the mining gadget. What's it called? The mining fucking extension tool for the multi-tool, whatever. But like, yeah, sure, great. Can you scoop them up with your with your multi-tool?
making your fortunes out in the verse, and then coming back to liquidate that and almost everything else with the new selling mechanic, allowing
All right, the selling mechanic, the looting with the inventory system that is broken, still a year after, like more than a year after it got released. I think it's more than a year. It was like 3/15, so it's probably more than a year. So that plus the selling equals broken. Where's my broken counter? Like, do you even like? Okay, let me ask the chat. So, chat, are you even selling your shit to the stations? And I'm not talking about selling like big components and ship parts because those are like easy to sell if you have them like stored and you can like if you already have them stored at a station and you sell them, you're gonna make some money, right? But are you really gonna like, I don't know, go do a couple of bunker missions, loot everyone that like that fucking despawns, and you loot them, and then you fucking like one by one, you loot things one by one. You just like get a fucking carpal tunnel syndrome in your hands, and then you go to the station and you sell all of the items one by one. Worst inventory system design in 20 years of gaming, exactly. And you still can't sell multiple same things. Yeah. Hell no, it's not efficient enough. Exactly. Try to sell 100 medpens. Yep. So, why are they proud? Like, how can they say that this is an accomplishment? Like, I don't fucking get it, but okay, let's continue.
allowing players to finally clear out.
Also, I'm trying not to be negative, but also one patch. A single patch. Whole year, a singular patch. Let's continue.
Much of what filled their inventories for profit. Why can you make so much money in video games and not in real life? That's my mom asking, not me. There were also plenty of new places.
Wait. Did he say that we can earn a lot of money in the game, like more than in real life by selling? Like, I can earn more money in real life by fucking shining shoes than I like in a day that I can like fucking sell this shit, honestly.
Video games and not in real life. That's my mom asking, not me. There were also plenty of new places to visit and have adventures, including.
These are cool, but they're so scarce. Like, there's just a couple of them. I think 6 got added, and then we have like 2 reclaimer missions, or no, actually 3. One is on Microtech, and 2 of them are on R-Corp and Microtech, but like in space. So we have some points of interest in some like new gameplay loops. I'm gonna call them gameplay loops, but yeah.
Places to visit and have adventures, including a variety of new derelict spacecraft, both floating in space and crashed down on the surface of Stanton's planets and moons. These derelicts not only add to the visual texture and history of the persistent universe, they provide numerous opportunities for missions.
The fact that the mines still don't explode and they just despawn and kill you if you touch them is fucking amazing to me. Like, it's been more than a year, I think, since they've been added. Maybe even no, maybe when did they add the mining the fucking mines? Was it 317 or 315? I think it was like 315.
Persistent universe, they provide numerous opportunities for mission and loot gameplay as more and more continue to be added throughout this last year and the next.
Mission and loot gameplay.
And the same can also be said for derelict outposts and rivers, which began with a single estuary on Microtech.
Rivers. Okay, so these are cool, but they're so fucking small that they're like whatever. Okay, they exist, but like whatever, and they're all like copy pasted, so it's even more of a whatever kind of situation.
For derelict outposts and
John Fleck, when does 318 come out? Fuck if I know. It was supposed to be out like last Friday. It's out in Evocati now. Again, they got a new patch. That's it. That's all we know.
And rivers, which began with a single,
possibly this year, maybe next year.
Single estuary on Microtech.
Also, rivers, yes. Should I showcase the rivers again? Because they're so good. First of all, it's such fucking content that like we as players, we just like we could not live without having rivers in Star Citizen. They are the most essential part that we got in the past year, hands down. But all the rivers are made from player tiers. Yeah, so they should say river tech because they're working on the river tech that's going to be used for like lava fields and roads and all of that. Sure, nice, great. But the river itself is dog shit. It looks bad, and we're going to get more of them in 318. I hope that I'm going to run into one of them like during the stream so I can see if they are any good, because the first one was super bad. And like, tell me if you want me to run the video again so you can see how bad it is if you never went there. Dude, like, it is eye candy. Like, it needs to be candied so it can be eye candy. It needs to look nice. So it's like, okay. All right, you made me do this. All right. Okay, here, and then rivers. So we were talking about Crytek's engine at the start, right? And like this is from Crysis 3 from back in the day from like 2013. The game got released in 2012. And look at this water mechanics. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. This is fucking 10 years ago, guys. Also, yeah, you can't swim in the rivers. And then you shoot the river and you have animations and like, yeah. And then you go and you check out the rivers in Star Citizen. And then you get this. And I don't know if you can see it. You can like see where the river ends and when the lake begins because they're not on the same level. Like the river is higher. The river itself is like bad. Water has no physics. I mean, it's not going to have any physics because it's supposed to be an MMO. That's fine. But it doesn't look good. It just doesn't look good. Like it's as simple as that. So, yeah, let's continue.
Which began with a single estuary on Microtech and continued to develop throughout the year into a watershed release included in the upcoming Alpha 3.18.
Why are you talking about 3.18?
But
why are you talking about 3.18? Because let me remind you, Jared, singular patch. A patch. 3.18 is still not here. So if you're doing a year in review, you should not be talking about 3.18. But let's continue.
For me, the highlight of RiverTech has been the ascendance of Will Hain to River Guy in the YouTube comments.
Wow, such gameplay.
More hospitals were added to the persistent universe in 22, as important an aspect as any for those of us who spend...
All right, let me see how many hospitals we got in 3.17. Space station clinics variations and a hospital. More hospitals were added. Okay.
Most of our time waking up in medical beds rather than exploring the universe.
Fine.
It's not that I'm bad. It's just that everyone else is better. Especially at racing in the first of several community-initiated in-universe racetracks.
Of course there was a river. There was a river. Of course there was a tree in the middle of the river. Come on, it's Star Citizen.
Such as the Snake Pit, which began with the XGR racing.
Excuse me, what?
Of several community-initiated in-universe racetracks such as the Snake Pit, which began...
Several. You added one. Let us take a look at the patch. At a patch, a patch. It's not even here, I think. Yeah, it's not here. So they added one river. Not one river. One fucking racetrack, and that's it. One racetrack. A racetrack does not equal several racetracks. Also, the racing game loop is still not here. It's supposed to be there in 3.18 with 6 new racetracks. And when they say 6 new, I guess they're going to count in this one. So, yeah.
Racing in the first of several community-initiated in-universe racetracks such as the Snake Pit, which began with the XGR racing community exploding in popularity this year and an exciting initiative within development to canonize creations from the players into the persistent universe proper that will continue in the upcoming Alpha 3.18 and beyond. And speaking of the community, much of what made Star Citizen's 2022 special was created by the...
Was screenshots and pictures and fucking posters and like greeting cards and videos, and that's it.
Community it's...
Because you did nothing. Because the community did more than you. Because you released a patch. I'm so fucking pissed off.
Including recurring events like Fight or Flight, the largest 2v2 PvP dogfighting tournament in the verse, the Hurston Hurt Locker, a battle royal event on Magda.
Hurston Hurt Locker? Yeah, this is this year's one. We competed in the last year's one, and it was so bad, and my friend from my org got robbed because he was like in the finals and he was fighting a guy, shot a guy twice with a railgun, then shot him with a fucking sniper rifle, and dude just fucking falls to the ground, stands up, and like shoots him with a like the whatever the like P90 look like rifle or submachine gun, and like my friend dies. Like, all right. And I was competing last year in vehicle battles, and the frame rate was so bad. Like I had, I don't know, 4 to 7 frames per second on my old PC with a 3080 and a Ryzen 9 5900X, and I died like immediately. Yeah.
That features lots of mayhem.
Grumpy's too, like, I'm trying to talk about myself in third person. I'm too tired to rant, but also this shit fucking bothers me.
And death where almost anything goes and precious few survive. And the classic Daymar Rally, a canonized staple that kicks off each year with a 500-kilometer race with multiple divisions and loads of ground vehicles.
You mean the Daymar Rally that you added an STV for, so you can sell it immediately, and you like got all the speeds of all the vehicles down, so the STV would be faster, so you can sell more of these, so it would like prevail in the rally. You mean that one?
Vehicle shenanigans. And in addition to competitive events,
it's just
the
marketing,
role-playing
guys.
scene in Star
That's
Citizen continued to evolve and take notice within both the community and development teams as players utilize tools within the game to report the news, create exciting narratives, and simply bring an increased sense of immersion to life in the persistent universe. And out of universe,
honestly, I'm not gonna say. I'm gonna try not to say anything bad, but these kinds of videos, like the news videos,
to report the news, create exciting
this narrative where they're all firing at nothing, so they can make a video of like all the pew-pews. And I don't know how long it took them, so they won't have like players that are fucking teleporting like 20 meters. I think it was like this video was made before 317.2, but like I'm on the thin line. Like on the left side, it's amazing, but on the right side, it's fucking cringe. So I'm like walking the thin line, and this year I started like leaning towards like it's cringe, because it is. What the fuck are you shooting at? Why are you angry at rocks, guys? What did sand do to you?
Narratives, and simply bring an increased sense of immersion to life in the persistent universe. And out of universe, the Bar Citizen World Tour kicked off.
Can I buy some
CIG
concept
staff
flavors?
traveled to cities, states, provinces, and countries around the world to break bread and tell tales with players from all walks of life. It's been a terrific return to form and a chance for players and developers to connect that will continue throughout.
You mean when you gave people Bano cubes, which were sold for like $5,000, and then you said that they're not gonna do anything because these? Okay, I'm not trying to find the negatives, but that's the first thing that fucking comes to mind. And also, look at the player base. Like, if you don't release the game in the next 10 years, and if the game is not done, like, most of these people are just gonna be crosses. Or whatever. They're whatever. You understand what I want to say. They're not probably not all Christian. I'm not, but I'm also gonna be. I'm gonna like. It's like in Worms. I'm just gonna turn into a fucking cross.
2023. So be sure to keep an eye on the website and socials for details, and let us know when events are happening in your area.
Honestly, this is nice. Like seeing all these people and like them hanging out and talking to each other. It's nice, but also a lot of shit, a lot of marketing stuff that's just bad.
Yeah. Other notable events were the Battle of the Bricks, where the Star Citizen and EVE Online community teams came together for charity in a battle of building blocks, trivia, weird challenges, and whatever a wolffish is. It's terrible. Terrible is what wolffish is. And then this year, CitizenCon kicked off with the official Journey to 4.0 initiative, with presentations from the
Journey to 4.0. Is now the time to talk about this article here? Should we talk about this article now during the reaction to the ISC? Right. I'm just gonna search for next year. So, no, next year, next patch, blah blah blah. Right. So, Roberts replied that they're trying to get the game to beta, but it's just that huge, and they're still building tech right now. There are just a few ducks to get in the row before they're ready to go into beta. Never heard about that expression, but cool. And then he said, we can say that we're looking to get server meshing by the end of next year, he shared. And you know what that means when people from CAG say that by the end of next year, that means no server meshing next year. So, yeah, let's continue.
Developers on exciting new gameplay systems like resource management, master modes, and investigations. The return of Chris Roberts to peel the curtain back on Squadron 42 developments that will benefit the persisting universe in the future, and master modes and investigations.
That is not, master modes are not in the game, and not going to be in the game anytime soon. Why are you talking about that? That's like not last year. That's fucking next 5 years, I guess.
Investigations. The return of Chris Roberts to peel the curtain back on Squadron 42 developments that will benefit the persisting universe in the future.
How did he peel the curtain back on Squadron 42 development? And
we debuted the only constant, the space.
What? When did that happen? Did I, am I living in the, what's the name of the movie? Fucking Adam Sandler, Click. Did you guys see the movie Click? It's a pretty good movie, actually. Like Adam Sandler, whatever. But it's a really good movie where he has like a magical remote and he just skips forwards. And then he just skips through his life because he's bored, but also then he realizes that he didn't see his children grow up. So how the fuck did I not see this? Was I in a coma, or was I in an episode or in the movie Click? Like, what? When did they peel the curtains back for Squadron 42? What?
Return of Chris Roberts to peel the curtain back on Squadron 42 developments that will benefit the persisting universe in the future, and we debuted the only constant, the spacecraft where ISC, SCL, and
this black here is just like
the spacecraft where ISC.
The only constant is that game development changes all the time, especially in CAG. And the only constant is server meshing by the end of next year.
SCL and more.
What's up, Randall? I'm feeling like shit. I have slept for 3.5 hours, but let's do this.
Will emanate from for the foreseeable future. And it still has a few tricks up its sleeve we hope to show you in 2023 and beyond. But back in the verse, while the intergalactic...
Is it modular? Is that it? Is the studio modular? Because the Aquila is not.
Hope to show you in 2023 and beyond. But back in the verse, while the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo and Invictus continue to be highlights of the year, the biggest dynamic event in Star Citizen's history happened with the Siege of Orison, where the vicious Ninetales took control of the floating platforms.
Why didn't you use actual gameplay footage for the Siege of Orison?
Ninetales took control of the floating platforms surrounding Orison and waged a multi-stage battle against players in a first-of-its-kind mixture.
Why are we not seeing in-game footage of this thing?
Of Star Citizen's FPS gameplay systems and an impetus for numerous technological improvements to the entire game as a whole, including the server.
Should I tell you why? Because it does not look like this. Because it looks like you're here and then... Let me show you how it looks like. So the player is here and then no player. And then the NPC fucking comes and then you fucking die because he just fucking spawned inside of you and shot you. Or you exit a PTV I don't know where that video is. I had that video. I exited a fucking PTV and I got thrown for like 50 meters into a sign and I was stuck inside a fucking sign. Like, what?
Server cap increase we talked about before.
Why are you not using in-game footage?
Including the server cap increase we talked about before. And this year's Ship Showdown was a chance for community members to showcase their creativity in pushing their favorite ships and vehicles into contention to be named Best in Show at this year's IAE. And you can see some of that creativity here.
The clouds are not like this in the game, honestly.
IAE. And you can see some
worst event in gaming history, basically.
Members to showcase their creativity in pushing their favorite ships and vehicles into contention to be named Best in Show at this year's IAE.
And then we wanted the PTV, but you said no. And we wanted the PTV to win because it was a statement, because we're fed up with your bullshit.
You can see some of that creativity here, and here, and here. Definitely a highlight of each and every year. And speaking about ships and vehicles, let's do a rundown of all the new ones that made their way flyable and drivable in 2022, including the Hull A, Hover Quad, Mule, Centurion, STV, Scorpius, Corsair, Cutter, and C8R Pisces. And that brings us to now, and the impending release of Alpha 3.18, which will add a whole lot more to this 2022 of Star Citizen highlights, including
half of this was just like whatever, and then they're talking like, how is this year in review when a 3.18 is still not playable? Like, even if it goes into the PTU right now, they should not be talking about 3.18 in the year in review until it hits the PU.
stripping.
Look at how bad the Pisces was clipped. What?
Of Alpha 3 Pisces.
What do you mean?
And that brings us to
I don't see what you're talking about.
Now, and the impending release of Alpha 3.18, which will add a whole lot more to this 2022 of Star Citizen highlights, including hole-stripping salvage gameplay. Yes, you and your trusty multi-tool, reclaimer, or brand new vulture have a new means to make your fortunes by finding and processing the remnants of space junk.
All right. Just a second here. You cannot see half of the screen, so I'm going to concentrate on the left side. Because we don't know how the fucking salvage mechanics are going to work. Cinch scraper module, a braid scraper module. So you have two modules on the left side and two modules on the right side. And then you have diameter, speed, efficiency, distance to target. Okay, you're just going to get close for that. But how the fuck do we use this? I have no idea. I got to see this in the game so I can understand it.
In the verse.
In the clouds, it's a circle ship around the ship to superimpose the ship on the clouds. Oh, you mean this one? Where is it?
Here's IAE. And you can see.
What? Oh, yeah, I see what you're talking about. Because these clouds are probably taken from DCS.
That brings us to now, and the impending release of Alpha 3.18, which will add a whole lot more to this 2022 of Star Citizen highlights, including hole-stripping salvage gameplay. Yes, you and your trusty multi-tool, reclaimer, or brand new vulture have a new means to make your fortunes by finding and processing the remnants of space junk in the verse. This applies not only to destroyed player ships, but NPC hulks spawn throughout the Stanton system for you to discover and dismantle. The cargo refactor is here. The cargo refactor is here. Alpha 3.18 also brings with it the first iteration of the cargo refactor.
Okay, they said the first iteration. So the tier 0 of the cargo refactor.
That will physicalize much of what we carry in our cargo holds and open up new avenues for cargo reclamation after disaster and potential piracy for the disaster causers of us out there.
Oh, they added this now. So it's not just gonna, like, attach
for
to
the
grid,
disaster causers
to
of
the
us
grid immediately, but you can choose where to attach it
out
to.
there.
Okay, that's nice.
I'm looking at Tom. There's also the new PTV racetrack in Orison that aims.
No, there's not. This is all 318. We do not have that patch. We don't have it in the PTU nor in the PU. Like, you got to release it to the PU. No, let me remind you, Jared. A patch, a singular patch that you release the whole year.
Aims to provide a new recreational activity for those looking for the low-stakes challenge of buggy competitions, or for the players that go out there and create emergent opportunities that I have no doubt none of us are prepared for. Can't wait to see what you do here. And the revitalization of Korea and the addition of additional sandbox prison activities.
This is all
two
318.
components of an overall...
Jared, buddy, I'm gonna let you finish, but Beyonce had the fucking best video this year. This is all 318. We got 317 this year. What are you talking about?
Overhaul to the crime
Why don't you talk about the fucking sandworm?
stat system that will be more lenient on what sends you to prison while providing new opportunities to remove crime stat before going and after escaping.
The Vulture is not gonna fit the Carrack.
6 new persistent universe racetracks based on community creations that will bring players to several of the lesser traveled areas of the
6 racetracks, none in the game, therefore should not be in this video.
system and allow them to test their mettle against others, with new gateway and timer functionality being added alongside them. New Orison missions that run on the surrounding platforms when Siege of Orison is resting from all the mayhem. New sand cave archetypes in the Daymar crash site
That have no sand caves, have no game loops in them. Therefore, all of this is like should not be in this video. But they're going to be added to 318, and like, why? Sure, somebody is going to find them and he's going to make some screenshots, and great. But what's the point? There's nothing to do in those caves.
and cave archetypes in the Daymar crash site introduce the brand new Mercury and 600i derelicts being added to the persistent universe.
I can't
And
wait
2
for
new
that. But when? Jared, tell me when.
exciting technological advancements this year with the implementation of the Gen 12 renderer and persistent entity streaming, which both convert the current persistent universe to new graphical and technological foundations that serve as the new basis for persistent universe's continued development, as well as set the stage for Star Citizen to realize its fullest potential in the years to come through server meshing, increased player and resource caps, and
Yeah, server meshing. Okay. So we can say that we're looking to get server meshing in by the end of next year, he shared. Let's continue.
the addition of new star systems like Pyro,
This is
Nyx,
getting ridiculous,
and beyond.
honestly.
And going on right now is Luminalia, where players can log in each and every day to redeem a variety of in-game gifts, including holiday
It's not Christmas yet, Skipster, I think. Isn't it like on 25th of December for like most of you guys? I think it's like 13th of January for Orthodox Christians.
sweaters, undersuits, new paints for the
Wow,
holiday
Luminalia, the thing that fucking just clutters your hanger and you can't sell it, you can't do anything with it, but it's there.
sweaters, undersuits, new
At least, if you're gonna do something like that, at least bundle it into one thing.
paints
But
for
yeah.
the 100i, Avenger, and more. Remember, it is 12 days, folks. And a sextant that Ben Curtis has really wanted to get in there for a while. I mean, it's cool. So, what did we learn this year? Well, I'd say a whole heck of a lot. But at the core of it all, to me, this year seemed to be about celebrating and renewing that connection between player and developer that's been at the heart of this project since it first launched in 2012. It's been said often, and probably by folks much better than myself, but it bears repeating over and over and over again that none of this happens without your continued involvement, whether that's playing the
Without your cash.
game, discussing on Spectrum, reporting on the issue council.
Okay, if you didn't watch my yesterday's stream, watch tomorrow's video. You're gonna see how reporting on the issue council works and how it works. So yeah, Spectrum posts. I tagged John Crew. I tagged Yogi Klats. I tagged a bunch of people in the past month, and the response that I got was them untagging themselves on Spectrum, and that was the response. For John Crew, I had a question of when, or no, it was actually when and why are we getting, why are they working on a modular ship again when we don't have modularity, and when we're gonna see it. And he untagged himself. For Yogi Klats, I gave him an idea. It's basically what I said in my today's video. If you didn't watch it, you can watch it afterwards. Of like how they can make the because they're working on the flight modes and all of that. And then I was like, okay, if you're gonna make them, and if that's gonna be your final iteration, if that's your final answer, please make it good. So I gave them a few ideas, and I told them why I don't see that what they said working, and then he untagged himself, and that's it. So yeah,
supporting through
that's the interaction spectrum.
Encourage.
Also, I got, and I'm talking about myself. I know that like a bunch of you got bans. I know that a bunch of you got strikes. I only got a strike this year, but yeah, we'll see. Like next year, I'm probably gonna get banned for like 10 years, and I'm still gonna come back before this game gets released.
Our citizens creating and streaming through social media and contests and the like, or simply allowing us into your lives most weeks.
Of course, I'm gonna be polite in their house. I'm not gonna be polite in my house. This is my house, my rules. Their house, their rules. I'm gonna be polite, but they still gave me a strike for me saying that I'm probably gonna get banned for this, and after that defending why I said that they lied, because when you constantly change, that's the quote, when you constantly change the things that you're saying, when you get caught in a lie, that's called lying. And I got a strike for that. So don't forget the White Knights. Yes, I never forget the White Knights.
While we share the who we are and what we do with you through ISC and SCL and the like. It's kind of ridiculous that I get to stand here on a spaceship and represent the work of over 800 strong with you, from game directors to QA testers, from major features like Salvage and Cargo, down to little internal tools like asset validators.
What happened to Skipster? I just read it in the chat. What the fuck? I said that it's not Christmas yet, and I asked, was it 25th of December? And he decided to what? Okay.
And I can hardly wait to see what 2023 has in store for us.
Thank you.
This journey we're on can be exciting, rewarding, educational, consuming, and if we're being honest, a little frustrating at times. But there isn't another one remotely like it in the entire game industry, with so many dedicated to bringing this universe of possibility to life. So, for one last time in 2022, for Inside Star Citizen, I'm Jared Huckabee. Happy holidays, be safe, and we'll see you all here next year.
I mean, it ended like emotionally, but also, let me see.
So with that, what did we learn this week? Well, so what did we learn this week? So what did we learn about this week? So what did we learn this week? So what did we learn about this week? Well, so what did we learn this week? So what did we learn this week? Well, so what did we learn this week? So what did we learn this week? So what did we learn this week? So what did we learn about this week? So what did we learn this week?
All right, I'm not gonna torture you with the whole thing. I think it's like 2 minutes long. It was just for you to like start laughing. But yeah, this year in review, bad. Sorry, Jared, but bad. One patch, singular patch. 317.2 was supposed to like have more content, and then the PTU for 318 was supposed to happen in June, but it's still not there. We're like mid-December, like leaning towards the end of December, and yeah, not good. Not good. Not good. But yeah, this is gonna go on YouTube as like a live reaction video. So let me just thank my patrons for supporting me. If you want to support me, there's a super chat thing in YouTube and join button and all of that. And then you have Patreon. Patreon does not take 30% like YouTube does, but also if you want to support me on YouTube, great. And also, if you want to get something in return, you have my merch. All of that was done by me. By my own hands. I drew it, I made it, and it's funny. Check out the merch store. Stream Elements just posted the links to the merch store, so just check it out. If you want to get something in return for supporting me, I think that's the best way to do it. And I love seeing you guys in stuff that I made. It just fills my heart up, honestly. But yeah, with that said, thank you for watching, and don't forget to bring it down when you're traveling through space, and we can continue with the stream now. So what happened to Skipster or Boardgamer? I do not understand it. Let me play some music. So what did you guys think of the year in review ISC? Because honestly, you said cancer. Honestly, I got pissed off. Yeah, Jack Nelson, there's a bunch of... I can actually open up and talk about the merch for a second here. You're gonna love it. Like, you don't need to buy anything, honestly, but if you want to, it's a cool way to support me. So all the designs were made by me. This one is the latest one. I bought a concept hoodie, and all I got was this lousy loner t-shirt, plus a JPEG of the hoodie. So that's one of the prints. These are tier 0 sweatpants, and obviously they are shorts. And you have Copium hoodie, and then like I didn't want to like have grumpy eye and all that shit, because why would you have that? Stop, she's a minor. Yeah, I just made like designs that I thought that you would probably wear. This is like Pyro, like a guy asking for like, where is Pyro? And he's on a bus station. He's a spaceman. All the drawings are like done by me. I'm gonna add more when I get more time. And yeah, if you want to check it out, check it out. Yeah, you saw it. So, summary, 317 happened. Yeah, 317 happened, and that was it. Link in chat? Well, you have the link in the Stream Elements bot is linking it. Okay, let me link it to you. There you go. That's the merch store link. Divide 100 million into the year in review. Yeah, this one patch costed us 100 million. Jesus Christ. Hoodie with Squadron 404, and I will wear it for Bar Citizen. So a bunch of people told me that they want to get merch so they can wear it on like Citizen Cons or Bar Citizens or whatever. But yeah, I wanted to make a discount, like a Christmas discount, because that's what people do, I guess. But also I can't, because the store, hey Jack, the store does not really let you do that, and the store like decides how much it's gonna cost. You can add more money, but like going lower. Like for example, the sticker is $3. I don't know if it's a singular sticker or like 3 of them or whatever, but it's $3, out of which I get $0.8. So it's not even $1. So yeah. So, let's continue with the show, I guess. This Inside Star Citizen was trash, because most of the Inside Star Citizens this year were really bad, and I thought that, like, it's gonna get better at some point, but no. But, yeah, so let's take a look at a couple of things. So I have 3 videos here that we can react to, and after that we are gonna take a look at the progress tracker, and we're gonna chill and talk for a bit, and I guess we're gonna end the stream there. But it's gonna take us a couple hours for all that. So the first video that we have here, somebody posted my community channel, and if you want me to react to a video, you can drop a link in the video react section in my community Discord, and the link is down in the description of the video. Somebody just posted another video. I'll post the following just as a reference how other games handle delays if you want to have a contrast with Star Citizen. I don't know if this is your style, so you decide, Grumpy. Okay, let's just see how long this is. Okay, this is a minute-long clip. So this is Final Fantasy developers, I think. And something got delayed there. I never played this. I have a friend that plays the shit out of Final Fantasy. So yeah, let's check it out. Is it gonna be in English though?
So we'll explain the reasonings later, but this is to sincerely apologize that the Endwalker expansion that was planned for November 23rd, I'm afraid will not make it in time for that release timing, so we sincerely apologize.
まあちょっと結論からお話しさせていただきますが、すいません、2週間延期をさせてください。
So to make a long story short, we want to seek your forgiveness that we will be delaying the release.
This is fucking amazing.
Expansion pack by 2 weeks.
正式な発売日をですね、12月7日とさせていただいて。
Wait, for how long? They're gonna delay it for 2 weeks? What the fuck?
正式な
release of the expansion. We will be delaying the release of the expansion pack by 2 weeks.
2 weeks, and he's about to perform a fucking seppuku. Like, gee, what?
正式な発売日をですね。
We need. They respect their fans. We need these kind of people like working in fucking CAG. Honestly, like I even know that like most of other companies will not be like CAG. Fucking 2 weeks, dude. Like what?
アーリーアクセスのスタートをですね、11月19日予定だったのを12月3日。
They're fucking amazing.
Reasonings.
I want to play fucking Final Fantasy now. All right, I'm gonna turn this. What are you posting there, DM? I want to turn this channel into a Final Fantasy 14 channel. Honestly. Because these guys are fucking amazing. I wanna contribute to their community. Jesus. All right. The other video that you posted was Constellation Questions talking Starfield quests with Will Shan, whoever that is. But this is a Starfield video, and I know that a bunch of you are waiting for that game. I'm honestly really excited to play it. Final Fantasy 14 sucks though. I have a friend that fucking plays it every day. But anyway, let's watch this video. Oh, come on, Atlas.
Hi, I'm Jess Finster, Community Director at Bethesda, and I'm back at Bethesda Game Studios doing another round of Constellation questions. Thank you so much to everybody who submitted your questions on Discord, Reddit, Twitter. We really appreciated reading them all. Today we're talking with Starfield's lead quest designer, Will Shen, on quests. So let's get started.
All right.
Hi, Will.
Hi, Jess.
I love the
Do
music.
you want to give a brief intro to yourself so they can get to know you a little bit better?
Sure. I'm Will Shen. I'm the lead quest designer on Starfield, and I am also responsible for the main quest.
Well, we got some of the top
Honestly, I just want to hug him. He has a huggable persona.
questions from our community that they want to know about Starfield. First question. One of the best things about the previous games were random encounters that you have in the world. For Starfield, how has the random encounter system been improved or expanded upon, if at all?
So very exciting. This time around, we have entire planets that we have to populate. So we actually have new tech to take whole locations that we've...
This looks really nice. Honestly. And you guys, Jack, fucking stop it. And you guys told me that this is done in the same engine that the other Bethesda games are done in. And that's fucking amazing.
Tech to take whole locations that we've built and put them on the planets. Now you could say maybe you're going to an outpost and you actually discover there's a whole group of people there with
We saw this already.
problem. Whereas, before it might be just a person coming to you along the road. Now it's an actual whole location that can be put there. And maybe they have a problem like one of our members was kidnapped. They've been kidnapped by some pirates. We think they're over there. We actually are replacing a whole other location with that person in it and enemies around it. So it's a dynamically placed settlement that is taking you to a dynamically placed dungeon as you're walking through the planet.
So basically, at any point in time on a planet, you can just experience a random encounter anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. And I think we're really only just scratching the surface of what that tech can do.
We can see what looks like Earth's own solar system in the Starfield gameplay trailer. Will there be quests taking us back there and exploring how things have changed?
Yeah, actually, very early on in the main quest, we take you to our solar system, which in our lore is called the Old Neighborhood.
Nice.
And you'll be being sent there
That's
on a
good.
mission from Constellation to discover the mysteries of the artifacts. And you'll get in contact with the question of what happened to Earth, but also you'll go to Mars, and there's actually a settlement, one of the early settlements that humanity created after
We're
they
gonna
left
see
Earth.
Elon there.
It's called Sidonia, and that's a whole city with its own problems.
Why is it
that
not
people-
called Mosconia?
How will faction quest lines work compared to other BTS
Muscoville?
games? Can we join multiple factions and complete all of them like in Skyrim? Or does joining one lock you out of certain others like in Fallout 4?
Yeah, so one of the early things we decided on was making sure that the main quest actually kind of gives you a little bit of a tour of the settled systems and all of the major players there so that we can give you a taste of what they're going to be up to.
This looks
We're
amazing.
peacekeepers. We protect the people of the Free Star Collective.
We also discussed
The
really
graphics
early
are really
on,
good.
like, okay, do we make some of the factions be in conflict with each other? And we decided, we really want to make sure that you can play through all the faction lines independently of each other.
Employed that
And
dude
this time
from
around,
Cheech
we were
and
like,
Chong.
no, we really want the stories to be a little more personal, right? You're influencing the direction of where this faction is going to go. So say the politics of the Free Star Rangers, right? What's more important? Is it justice or industry, right? Where are you going to try to nudge them in this direction or another? So you don't necessarily end up as the head of every single faction of the game. But obviously all the major characters and every faction quest line will be reflecting on your choices. But it can have far-reaching consequences for what that faction is, what it cares about.
What will the role of some of the companions be during quests?
The companions along the Constellation storyline, which is the main
We heard
quest,
the
they'll
concept
have a lot
sales,
of
yeah.
opinions and points of view about what the decisions you'll be making along the main storyline. We've also added in several times where you can ask them to speak for you. So you might have a companion with you and you'll be challenged to someone will tell you can't get through here. And you can actually, turn to your companion and say, hey, actually, could you handle this? And they'll actually speak on your behalf, and there could be consequences, good or bad, for what they happen to say. And all the usual things you would expect from followers, right? They'll follow you into danger. You can trade equipment with them. And, they'll also be crewing your ship, which is new. So they'll be helping out on your ship as well.
Will NPCs react in different ways depending on how the player completes a quest?
Yeah, all the quest lines have major characters, right? That they'll reflect on the decisions you're making, and they'll have opinions about whether they're
Okay,
good
so
or
it's gonna be
bad,
a classic RPG
and for a
game,
few of
like
those
nothing
storylines, and including
new.
the main quest too.
Nothing that we didn't see before. Honestly, I just hope that the story is good.
Ends up with you at the end, right? There are you'll be determining the fates sometimes, whether someone lives or dies, or whether someone's still in the faction or decides to leave the faction. There's a lot of different things that'll happen.
Well, that's all the questions I have for today. Thank you so much, Will, for taking the time. We really appreciate it.
All right, this wasn't really that
Thank you so much
informative.
to Will for volunteering his time to
We
answer.
knew that it's gonna be just an RPG. There's not gonna be really like landing wherever you want to on planets. And also, Steve, where is their Star Trek set? Well, this is it, because they're already they're already a big company, and they made this interior for themselves. and like not to reflect Fallout or this game, but like yeah, CAG made it all around Star Citizen and Squadron 42, I guess. But yeah,
answer our questions.
Bethesda
And
already
thank
earned
you for
a
submitting
lot,
your
a lot,
questions.
a lot
If you
of
want to
money.
be the first to know about videos like this one or other news about Starfield,
Yeah,
we
it's gonna be Fallout in space with like ships that are modular.
encourage you to sign up to join Constellation.
We're gonna
You
be
can
playing
also
that on
submit
stream
any Starfield questions you would like to know.
because we're probably gonna be waiting on 4.0. So it's gonna be 3.18. I don't know whenever it gets fucking released, and then 3.19, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 18, 19, 20, and like all the patches after that, and then 4.0 by the end of 2020 something.
No, at the hashtag here. So until next time, thank you.
Jack
and we'll
Thompson,
see you soon.
Starfield is gonna be a single player game. But it's gonna be moddable, so you never know. Maybe at some point it's gonna be a multiplayer game because like Skyrim can be played in multiplayer. All right, so there was an article released on AsiaOne. I'm not gonna read it out because I'm tired as fuck, but I'm gonna read out some segments. And the major thing that you need to know from this thing here is that whoever talked to AsiaOne from CAG said there's the saying that no publicity is bad publicity, but even our bad publicity is good for us. Preferring to let the game speak for us, Chin said they don't ever respond to negative comments on forums or negative reports in the media. Yes, you delete the negative comments on forums, and like you don't even fucking respond to positive comments that tell you that something can be better, that something can be done better. And they also said, where is it? Where is it? Come on, where is it? All right, roadmap to beta. Let's read this out. And this is gonna be like, we're gonna watch Boardgamer's video after this, because we watched Obsidian Art's video on this, and now we're gonna talk about this first, and then we're gonna watch Boardgamer's video. So Chin also likened the development costs to Blizzard's World of Warcraft and how it will be a phenomenal figure too if one were to look at the same period of 10 years. However, dude, like, no. You cannot compare Star Citizen to World of Warcraft because World of Warcraft fucking got released and was playable. It was not as buggy as Star Citizen is. However, we pointed out that Blizzard has released games over the last 10 years and not just World of Warcraft and expansions. Yeah. Roberts replied that they're trying to get the game to beta, but it's just that huge, and they're still building tech right now. There are just a few ducks to get in the row before they're ready to go into beta. We can say, and this is the most important part, we can say that we're looking to get server meshing in by the end of next year. What's up, Tuna? So, when they say that, and they've been saying that since 2017 or 18, the server meshing is going to be in by the end of next year, we know that it's not going to be happening next year. But first, Chin said that the big milestone the team is aiming for is to hit persistence. Simply put, is to create a persistent universe through the persistent entity streaming technology. We know that. Throughout the interview, it was brought up several times that they're pushing the technological boundaries for this game and how it takes time to build complex new systems that have never been built before. Right. So if you can point out like these complex new systems that have never been done before, please do that in the comments or the chat. We can't change time. We can't make things go faster than they're going to take. We're in the same boat as those people. We're just as eager to play this full game as they are. Sometimes we have to, answer questions about the past. Oh no, answering questions about the past. No, never. Why would you? Which is fair because those things did happen, but I will tell you that the project has not really been in any of that situation in at least the last 4 years. So I got a question for this year because you said that we're gonna get quarterly releases, and we got a single one, like a single major patch. Yes, we got 0.1, 2, 3, 4. The 0.2 patch was actually brought some content in with it. But if you compare that, let me just show you. If you compare 3.17 to any other patches prior to that, like characters 1, locations 5, AI 3, gameplay 6, ships and vehicles 8. That's because it fucking took them a year, so we're gonna not even talk about the ships and vehicles. And core tech 1. And then you compare that to the other patches, and you can see that it's basically the same as the quarterly patches before. Yet people keep on saying that it's a bigger patch and we got more content. For example, 3.13 got, we're not gonna go into it like what it got, but like 3.13 got 13 entries for gameplay. Missions, quantum sensitive deliveries, timed multi-drop deliveries, shield effects. I don't know why this is in gameplay, but sure. Mining subcomponents, UI reputation, mission spawn closets, mountain guns, force reactions, vehicle names and serial numbers. That is not gameplay, but fuck it. Vehicle visual degradation. I mean, it could be considered a gameplay, even though it's not. It's tech, but sure. Merlin constellation docking, ship to station docking for 2 ships, but whatever. Object push and pull. And then compare it to 3.17. And this was like last year. Like 3.13 happened last year. And then they say that they've been behaving better in the past 4 years. No, you haven't. No, you haven't. In the yesterday's stream, I talked to Atlas, and Atlas is in the building. And I don't know, Atlas, did you have the, what's it called? Did you release the video? If you did, I can just watch that now. If you want to send me the link. But Atlas did a really good spreadsheet of how many ships they announce versus per year versus how many of them they release, and then how many of those released ships are from the backlog and how many of them are complete new ships that we never heard of. And this year was basically disastrous because most of the ships that got released, more than 50% of the ships that got released were not from the backlog. So what are they talking about? And let's finish the story here. That said, Shin admitted that they're still selling concept ships, something that has caused the game to run afoul of UK's advertising standard authority. If every country was like UK, that would be amazing. Concept ships are essentially expensive ships that are still in development and not ready to display in your hangar or fly in the game. Shin explained, we slow them down immensely. We probably only do 3 or 4 a year. Sure. We offer concept ships at our biggest annual sales events. So just this year, if you said that you sold 3 or 4, let's see. We have 3 Crusader C1 and then A1 and the E1. That's 3 already. Then we have the Galaxy, the latest one, the modular ship. Then we have the Expanse. Then we have the Legionnaire. Then we have more, but I forgot. Liberator happened last year, from what I remember. But yeah, that's 5 or 6 already this year. So what the fuck are you talking about? The focus now is on smaller ships that are quicker to deliver, with one being released 4 months after its sale. More straight to flyable ships and on delivering the concept ships that we have sold in the past. Yet, they decide to push or to put a pin into the Banu merchant pen. So yeah, Star Citizen isn't pretending to be something it's not, with disclaimers in place to inform gamers that the game is an alpha, built, and in development. And like from human perspective and from like a psychological standpoint, you know that nobody fucking reads the EULA or EULA, however you pronounce that, agreements and like disclaimers and all of that. Everybody just like sees ICs and like those pre-made videos that were done in engine but with dev tools, and they're just beautiful, and then wants to pledge for the game and then gets disappointed. Chin concluded, what I would tell people is only play us if you're ready to play us. I do not understand this. We're not asking everyone to come and check us out now. All right? We're not asking everyone to check us out now, which is why we do a lot of free flies, a limited side event, blah, blah. What we want to tell people is, hey, we're a very ambitious game. We're early access alpha. Check this out. If you want to... What? If you like what you see because there's so much content, then you should play. Yeah, sure, there's so much content. Yeah, it's... but how the fuck do you pronounce that? EULA, whatever. In Serbia, it will be... in Serbian, it will be EULA. And if you don't, then I think you should stay away. We very much want people to wait until beta if that's what they're comfortable with. But if you pledge and you didn't stay away, you can't refund your game. There's no refunds because fuck you. But yeah. So let's see what Boardgamer said about the whole drama with this fucking interview, because this, like, not only how do I deselect all this shit, like suddenly it's a fucking okay, so all they have that we've like learned from here is oh yeah, they actually talked about pledging and how you can't refund the game, and that one backer tried to unsuccessfully sue the game to get his money back. And then in the end, they said, what we want to tell people is, hey, we're a very ambitious game. We're early access alpha. Check this out. If you like what you see, because there's so much content here, then you should play. And if you don't, then I think you should stay away. Because you know why? Because you're going to end up like the guy that fucking sued you and was unsuccessful because he could not return his money. So, on that topic, let's see what Boardgamer had to say, because we watched Obsidian Art. So, let's see what Boardgamer had to say on this topic.
Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen. Today I wanted to break down an article on Star Citizen from AsiaOne. There's skepticism around the project 100%. Star Citizen's developers know what's been said about the game, but our bad publicity is good for us. This very long titled article was based on interviews at a recent Bar Citizen in Asia with some CIG higher ups attending. The article has quite a lot of critical focus on the project. It has some historical comments from Chris Roberts and some ex-employees, as well as interviewing, at least in part, Aaron Roberts and Elliot Shin, Senior Vice President of Marketing at CIG. So this is going to be a summary of a bit of an interview with him and Aaron, but also a trip down memory lane for some of the controversies and dramas of Star Citizen's past. I will link the article in its entirety down below for those interested. Also, a disclaimer, I'll be summarising my understanding of the article and what was said there, as well as some context and commentary. Please keep in mind that I don't like to mischaracter other people's points of view and opinions, but, I mean, I do have a bias. I've been covering Star Citizen since 2014. I really love Star Citizen, warts and all. I have a lot of good friends.
I mean, Boards, I've been covering this game since 2021, so for a year and a half now. But I'm trying to be realistic here. And I'm trying to not be biased. I'm trying to be, like, in the middle, basically. Grey Knight, if you want to call me that.
Friends inside Clan Imperium, and I trust that they are going to make a good game, but it has had a colourful history. Anyway, the article starts by characterising Star Citizen as a game that everyone's heard of, but unlike other games, its reputation has taken a beating, being labelled as a scam by some of its critics, or them sort of lolling at being in perpetual alpha. I would like to say that Star Citizen is demonstrably not a scam in any sense of the word. You'd have to redefine what scam meant and then do some gymnastics there, but...
Yeah, I would agree with that. It is not a scam. It is very poorly managed, or it's very mismanaged. Or should I put it like this? It's amazingly managed when it needs to suck your money out of your pocket. But the game itself is a disaster. Like, the management of the game itself is a disaster.
The game is certainly in alpha, and there are no indications of when it was going to go to beta or...
And this is not me being hyperbolic. It's just like a disaster. Things that they added that they're like proud of are terrible for gaming. The immature system, the selling loot to whatever, to stations. Like most things that they added in the past 2 years, at least, are disastrous. And then they tend to like rework most of it. Like they're working on the flight modes again, bringing them back to 2.5.
Into a full release.
I will call that
it is
a disaster.
playable now with semi-regular updates. The article goes on to say that it's
because you know why it's a disaster? Because they're working on another game, Squadron 42, which should be released anytime now, right? Soon, trademarked by CAG. But they still don't have the core gameplay. They still don't have the core mechanics for that game, let alone Star Citizen, that like it is like getting all the tech from Squadron 42. So if that's not disastrous after fucking 11 years of development, then like if I'm being hyperbolic, just fucking ban me off YouTube and ban me from life. I don't know. But I would call that a disaster.
Successful Kickstarter in 2012 due to being a Chris Roberts game mostly. Crowdfunding and private investment has smashed past 500 million in 2022 of total funding. There is no release date in sight though. Squadron 42, the single-player campaign, has also gone dark, the article asserts, with Chris Roberts declaring in December 2020 that...
All right, I'd address something in the chat. So, DM, I like you when you're a Knight Rider, but scam is a noun, a dishonest scheme or a fraud. It's a scam. You guys are just affected by their newspeak. So I did a video on this, DM, and I implore you to watch it. And there, from like, I didn't even touch their like yearly spending that is somewhat transparent. Like you can see it on their website. I didn't touch that, but I was just like taking numbers from Google and from like articles on how much developers get paid per year in the cities where they have their studios, etc., and how much the rent for the studios are there, etc., etc., etc. And when you add it all up, you're gonna get to a number that is basically what they're getting from the backers. Almost like a bit lower than that number. So if it's a scam, it's the stupidest fucking scam ever. And I finished it with I don't know, a funny thought that I had. Like, it would be like, it's a scam. You've been clown for 10 years. Let me be emotional. Like, you can be emotional as much as you want to in chat. I'm just saying, like, it's basically you scamming a bank by working in that bank for 30, 40 years, and then you get out and you're like, I fucking scammed them. But how? I worked there, I got money for free. But you worked there. But yes, but I got money from them, so I scammed them. It's not a scam, though. It's working. But the issue is the lack of progress and the predatory fucking tactics that they have with concept ship sales and all the other ship sales, and the nerfing after the ship sales ends, or just taking concept ships from the off the progress tracker after the ship sales ended. So we can agree on that. Yeah, I also get emotional. But you can't say that this is a scam. It's like, I don't know. It's just like stupid, honestly. It's like saying that the fucking planet is flat, the Earth is flat, and that, like, I don't know how many thousands of people in NASA are like holding that back. I'm not calling you a flat earther. Like, I'm just like saying there's fucking 800 people working for CAG, and they're getting paid, and they have their workplaces that are also being paid for, and then you have servers that you're renting, etc., etc., etc. The chairs, the $2,000 chairs. Like, that's stupid. But also, yeah, it's not a scam. It's shit, but it's not a scam.
Not best to show gameplay publicly or discuss the release date until they are closer to the home stretch. So yes, Squadron 42 is CIG's best kept secret. However, they have a roadmap that tracks a lot of Squadron 42's features. They also do updates occasionally, like at CitizenCon 2022. Chris talked about Squadron 42 features that were sort of going to be coming to the persistent universe for 2 hours. You talked for a long time. Each month there's also a monthly report dedicated.
What was that?
To be coming to the persistent universe for 2 hours. You talked were sort of.
I never understood his what's the word I'm looking for here. It's not even pronunciation. He's British, right? But like, he's talking like he's bored, and then he fucking yells on like the weirdest fucking words, and then he's fine.
Sort of going to be coming to the persistent universe for 2 hours. You talked for a long time.
Okay.
Each month there's
2
also
hours.
a report
Okay.
dedicated to Squadron 42 updates. The release date though is anyone's guess, and they've certainly stopped.
I mean, if anybody's weird on YouTube, it's me.
Showing as many or as much Squadron 42 update stuff.
So I'm not
as they
attacking
used
him.
to.
I'm just like,
the article goes on to say that the game is under fire for its monetization model and microtransactions as ships are sold.
Yeah, Looney. CAG does release a yearly overview of their spending, but I did not want to touch that document purely because people would tell me that it's completely fabricated and that they're still scamming people. So I just went for like the middle. Like I got let's say the wages in like in Texas Austin, the lowest pay for a developer is some number and the highest pay is something, and I went with the middle pay, and I just like went with all the middle things, and added them all up, and with the servers, with the what's it called, outsourcing to other companies, etc., etc., etc. I actually got a number that was like higher than what they had last year, like the money that they earned last year. So yeah, they obviously, because they said that they actually made some money last year, so they probably made even more money this year. But yeah, you can't call that a scam.
Before they're available in game, so that's concept sales. And the article then very much falsely asserts you can buy digital real estate. So
have I seen him?
previously,
No, I never
Imperium
saw
sold
Boardgamer.
land claims for a short period of time, which were tools in game that would enable you to state a claim for a piece of land, either 2x2 or 4x4 kilometers in size in UEE territory. It wasn't actually selling of the land or particular plots. So this was part of the Pioneer base building ship sale. Again, the Pioneer is a concept ship. It's not actually available in game yet, but it allows you to build massive bases is the idea. It was a dumb choice by Cloud Imperium though to sell these land claims.
You know what they also sold that I learned from Salty Mike? They sold tickets to CitizenCon.
And it was, in my opinion, just the marketing department.
Or they wanted to. I don't know if they actually sold any, but they wanted to. And then people told them like, well, what are you doing? And you know that there will be people that would pay for those.
Let's sell everything that we can. The optics of this sort of was indeed bad, just because they looked like they were being very
it's not a scam, it's a fraud.
Grabby, and mechanics that had yet to be fully confirmed were sort of like being hyped up. Interestingly, when I had an interview,
I'm not
with
saying
Aaron
that they're
Roberts,
not lying to us. They are lying to us, but it's not a scam. Like I think that like my knowledge of English is poor, but I think that scam and fraud is the same.
In 2018, he was most excited about getting a land claim gameplay out by the end of that year. It was going to be the claiming of land and laws associated with it, and then the right to mine that area, and you to put these down on planets and moons. Pretty basic though, no base or proper survey gameplay there. However, that gameplay has yet to come to pass, as Clan Imperium will prioritise that, partly due to evolving base gameplay and just other features taking priority. Continuing with the article, and some juicier information comes in here. The tumultuous and troubled history of Star Citizen runs deep, but the developers are unperturbed by it when we asked them about it recently when they were...
What the fuck does unperturbed mean? I gotta Google this. Sorry guys, but like I'm from Serbia. Not perturbed. Thank you, Google. Oh, not concerned. Okay. Jesus Christ. Okay, so the developers are not concerned by it when asked. Okay,
the tumultuous and troubled history of Star Citizen runs deep, but the developers are unperturbed by it when we asked them about it recently when they were in town for Bar Citizen, a fan event for the game's community. Elliot Shin, who is Cloud Imperium's Senior Vice President of Marketing, said, "You know what's been said about us, and people say it was a scam. There's skepticism around the project 100%.
Yeah, people still say that this is a scam.
Community sentiment has never been higher, though. 4 years ago, people were saying, oh, this game is a scam. I can't believe it. Or, how can we still be taking money from people? Now, when we see it on r/gaming on Reddit, people are saying things like, oh, that's Star Citizen. That looks amazing. I want to go check that out. Also, anytime there's something negative about us, people seem to go and recommend the game to their friends. There's the saying...
And I already talked about this in my reaction to Obsidian Arts video. So, not this IAE, but during Invictus, there was a free fly. And I can tell you this from my own perspective. And, like, you know how bad it was back then. That was the 0.1 patch for 3.17, I think. But I had like I'm gonna make up some numbers now because I'm not really sure exactly how many referrals I had at the time, but I know that I gained 50-ish referrals in that week, and in the same week or like a week after, I lost them all because people tried the game and didn't like it. And you have like the first like 15 days refunds for some countries at least. So yeah, they just gave up. And that's just me. And I'm a small, like not ish, but a small YouTuber / now I'm a streamer. So you can imagine how many people tried the game and they were just fucking disgusted by the state of it. And they just didn't want to pay for it or play it or whatever. So yeah.
That no publicity is bad publicity, but even our bad
I actually try not to talk about any numbers. Like 50, I know that I gained like almost 50 and then I lost all of them with the referral code. I don't know how much like Morphologist got and lost, how much Space Tomato got and lost, how many people got the game without even getting it through a referral code. So yeah.
Publicity is good for us. He also went on to say apparently that they don't ever respond to negative comments on forums or negative reports in the media. Now, previously Cloud Imperium had done that. Chris Roberts famously had written a reply to an article, I believe from The Escapist, which was, in my opinion, a trash, poorly written, poorly researched piece with a load of unverified sort of Star Citizen ex-employees making up most of the information there. However, yeah, it appears that Cloud Imperium don't really reply to bad publicity and articles anymore. They do, however, respond a lot to their community.
They do not. Words, they do not. Should I tell you, and I talked about this like a half an hour ago, whenever I post on Spectrum and whenever I tag a guy from CAG, like John Crew, for example, or Yogi Clat, the response that I get is that they untag themselves. And I'm always trying to be constructive and ask them why you're doing something, or like why are you doing something, or when is that going to be in the game. And that's the disconnect that they have with the community. The community is getting fucking older by day. I'm 35. When this game started, when it was kickstarted, I was 25, and I'm 35, and we're still in alpha. We're not gonna see beta anytime soon, and I want to ask my when questions, and they should fucking answer for the money that I made for them with almost 800 referrals, and I did a calculation. It's like 26,000 or something like that. So $45, which is the startership. I'm not gonna say that they spent anything else, but $45 times 800 people, $36,000 I made them, and I invested my own money on top of that, and they gave me nothing. And people from my community gave me money to invest, to do giveaways and all of that. And I want a fucking straight up answer. When we're gonna get the modularity, and why are you talking about this right now? Because we still don't have modularity. Like a year ago, less than a year ago, you said that you're not gonna do the same things that you did for the past fucking 9 years. And then you do the same thing. I was trying not to push their buttons, and I was trying to be as pleasant as I can. And like as I was saying, like, it's their house on my channel. That's my house. I can behave the way I want to. On Spectrum, I'm gonna behave the way they want to, the way they want me to behave. Sure, I'm gonna respect the rules, and I was respectful, because I mean, why shouldn't I be respectful? But the response that I got from John Crew was him untagging himself from the post. The post had fucking thousands of upvotes. It was like one of the biggest fucking posts that I saw in the last year on Spectrum. Untagged. Fine, next. So is that how you talk to your community? And then afterwards, I got a strike for something else, but which was basically the same thing. And I was still being respectful. I was just like defending my positioning. Like, if you're saying something and then changing statements whenever somebody asks you, like, what are you saying? That doesn't make any sense. And then you change your statement A month after that, 2 or 3 months after that, that's called lying. And I got a strike for hyperbolic comments and all that shit. So if that's how you talk to your community that asks you a when question, if you're happy with it, board, I don't know. I really don't know. I'm not. Anyway, let's continue.
It's bad or good. The article continues that there was a scathing expose by Forbes in May 2019 that did agree the game wasn't any form of fraud or scam, but it did suggest the development was an incompetence and mismanagement on a galactic scale after talking to a load of ex-employees and researching Chris. And Cloud Imperium did certainly have troubles pre-2016 with inefficiency and many a setback. However, the project, especially over the last
Okay, let me hear this.
Certainly have troubles pre-2016 with inefficiency and many a setback. However, the project, especially over the last few years, has expanded massively.
The last few years. This is the last year. No, shit. This is the last year or this year. This is it.
Massively, and is delivering a game now. They were building a game studio, and lots of game studios. There were
boards. They're still building the game studio. They need more people.
There were certainly mistakes, but it is taking a while to get a game out, and it's taking them a while to develop it. But that Forbes article was talking to some disgruntled backers, again, some ex-employees that maybe aren't entirely verifiable, and are looking at Chris Roberts and his wife Sandy Roberts' his personal life and some of their previous business failures. It was built to be a hit piece and just critical and attack the project for the most part. That said, there are still some fair points. And
I mean, drama sells, first of all. Secondly, I do not agree with them. That's why I didn't want to talk about their personal lives on stream or in my Discord, because who the fuck cares? Honestly, we all have our own shit, and that's it. So there's no fucking point in talking about that. We can talk about the state of the game right now, the things that we're getting right now, and their how the developers are treating us, but we should not talk about their personal lives.
Facts in articles like these still, even though some may be entirely irrelevant. That's partly where my bias might come in. I might go, well, this is irrelevant because it's not what's happening. I don't care that Chris Roberts used to run a car rental company or whatever. Actually, there was a sort of interesting piece.
Wait, what? Was he an actual car salesman? That fucking explains a lot.
Of Star Citizen history. There was a backer that spent like $5,000 on Star Citizen spaceships that tried to then sue Cloud Imperium as he suffered from, I believe, poor impulse control and fear of missing out. That lawsuit then failed, and then he could,
as most of us did, because that's what their marketing is supposed to do,
sue Cloud Imperium as he suffered from, I believe, poor impulse control.
Also, we did not see this in the article itself. Where did they say that he was suffering from FOMO and poor decision making? Where is that? One backer tried? Okay. The game has also come under fire for its questionable microtransactions. I'm fucking blind. In Star Citizen, players can buy ships and even digital real estate. That was before. However, these items are usually sold before it's completed and ready for players to use. Additionally, some ships in Star Citizen can cost over $1,000. And then one backer tried unsuccessfully to sue the game and get his money back. And I do not see them talking about FOMO or whatever Boardgamer is talking about here.
There was a backer that spent like $5,000 on Star Citizen spaceships that tried to then sue Cloud Imperium as he suffered from, I believe, poor impulse control and fear of missing out. That lawsuit then failed, and then he continued to buy even more spaceships. It was a weird one because you can literally just get a 45.
All right, no. We gotta check out this link. It does not work. What? How? Where is that in this article? How do you know that that's that guy, Board? What are we talking about here? What?
on Star Citizen spaceships that tried to then sue Clan Imperium as he suffered from, I believe, poor impulse control and fear of missing out.
That's just bashing on the guy that fucking wanted his money back, honestly.
Lawsuit then failed, and then he continued to buy
Failed? And how do you know that he continued to buy ships for Star
even
Citizen?
more spaceships? It was a weird one because you can literally just get a $45 starter pack and then earn everything in Star Citizen. But there is hype and artificial scarcity around these products, urging you to buy ships. I do like freedom for people to be able to buy things if they want. With all that said, the monetization model does make the project possible and brings in record funding each year. However, I don't like the fact that that gentleman was able to still buy ships after that lawsuit and after he said he had poor impulse control. I don't know. Do you think...
All right, we got to find this. All right, I'm going to open... We're going to rewind a bit, and I'm going to open
even
another
more spaceships. Tab. It was a weird one because you can literally just get a $45 starter pack and then earn everything in Star Citizen. But there is hype and artificial scarcity around these products, urging you to buy ships. I do like freedom for people to be able to buy things if they want.
All right, we got to check this out. So the first link that came up was Kotaku, and I'm not going to read it. Fuck that. But this week in games, Star Citizen is sued by a backer. The Calling 2 is yanked from Steam and more. Where the fuck is Star Citizen? Star Citizen? I think we gotta read the Kotaku article. Alright, fuck it. Fuck it. 4.5 loses. Alright. He finally wanted his money back right away. He ran into a problem. RSI has changed its terms of service, and he was no longer eligible for a refund because it had been more than 14 days since he'd forked over his 4.5 thousand. Lord tried to get a refund anyway, blah, blah, blah. After giving up on refund idea, Lord sent a demand letter to RSI threatening litigation of the issue. If the issue didn't get resolved by June 29th, that didn't happen. So on July 13th, off to court he went. Strategy didn't work, though terms of service clearly say they don't apply to transactions before that date, blah, blah, blah. Of course. CAG, RSI successfully argued to do exactly that. An email to Kotaku. I hate that I'm reading a fucking Kotaku article, but fuck it. An RSI rep said, according to the company's records, Lord has made 61 pledges to Star Citizen since 2013, so he's an old backer. The terms of service are not retroactive, but a huge majority of Mr. Lord's pledges came after the terms of service was changed to specify arbitration, and those pledges are under that terms of service. The fact that they can just change their terms of service is just fucking stupid, but yeah, sure. That's how companies work, I guess. His pledges with new money on top of his earlier pledges required him to accept the new terms of service. Lord is glad that he at least tried to get his money back, but he can't help but look at RSI in a new, decidedly dimmer light. He recounted a time in 2012 when, as a part of special golden ticket promotion, he got an email directly from Chris Roberts. I wrote back explaining that my reflexes were pretty poor, and I already knew that MS... Oh, I already knew I had MS, so multiple sclerosis. What's the English name for it? And explained that I wasn't ever going to be much of a fighter pilot. Lord said, I got a heartfelt email back explaining that in the universe he was building, everyone was going to have a place. They were good people, and somewhere along the way, they lost their way. So he is it multiple sclerosis or I forgot the English term. Multiple sclerosis, something like that, right? So that's what he's suffering from, not from Becker syndrome and FOMO. It's not multiple, it's multipla or something like that. But yeah, Boards, like, also you stating that he pledged for more ships. This does not look good. I would really love to speak to Boards and ask him where he got this info from, because I didn't find it.
Everything in Star Citizen.
If somebody can find that in the chat, please link it to me. You can't link it in the YouTube chat. You gotta hop into my community channel. But yeah.
Listen, but there is hype and artificial.
So hop into my Discord, and you can link in there.
Scarcity around these products, urging you to buy ships. I do like freedom for people to be able to buy things if they want. With all that said, the monetization model does make the project possible and brings in record funding each year. However, I don't like the fact that that gentleman was able to still buy ships after that lawsuit and after he said he had poor impulse control. I don't know. Do you think Clan Imperium should have gone, no, we're not going to sell you any more ships? Or do you think they said, well, it's your choice, you can buy more if you want to?
Poor impulse control. No, it's sclerosis, dude.
I'm not a fan of predatory.
I think you mistook it for degenerative disease. I'm trying not to be an asshole here, but Jesus Christ, I really want to be an asshole right now.
Monetization models that sort of like involve you gambling or give you that sort of gambling feel. And I don't think Star Citizen really does that, but it does have monetization practices which do give you FOMO. They give you fear of missing out, and they do encourage people to buy things. But that's all forms of marketing and all forms of products want you to be sort of buying them. And going back to that Forbes article, I would like to actually mention again that some of the previous hit pieces and some of these things, they appear to have interviewed staff that may not have ever actually existed. They may not have been Star Citizen or Squadron 42 or CIT staff, and based their articles on people that said they
may not ever existed. Like what?
Or CIT staff, and based their articles on people that said they were staff and Glassdoor reviews, which may have all been faked. I'm not saying they all were.
All of the Glassdoor reviews may have all been faked. Bored? What? I really don't want to sound like a dick, but Bored what?
And based their articles on people that said they were staff and Glassdoor.
Why did you link this to me? You knew that I'm gonna get fucking angry.
Reviews, which may have all been faked. I'm not saying they all were. I am, however, saying that it's quite likely that at least some were. So they talked to Aaron Roberts as well, and he says, look at the game, we're doing something no one else is doing. If you're going to talk to ex-employees who are disgruntled, then you're going to sometimes have that happen. They were showing a demo of Microtech, it seems, at a Bar Citizen, and Shin.
Jim, I don't know. Like, not all of the Glassdoor reviews are bad, but most of them are like talking about the mismanagement inside the company, and we know that. We fucking see that with our own eyes. We don't need to work for the company to fucking know that.
They were showing a demo of Microtech, it seems, at a Bar Citizen, and Shin said, we let people look at this, like this screen right here of Microtech and the snow that's going on. So that didn't exist when that article was written. And you look at it, and it's every bit as good and beautiful as any other game you can get right now. Progress has been really accelerating since 2013. The AsiaOne article moves on to the topic of transparency and talking about Clan Imperium's choice in February 2022 to only show the next 2 patches on the release view of the roadmap. Though Clan Imperium actually show a huge amount more of their development work beyond what's on that part of the roadmap. So they do show sort of like what's going on for the next year or so. But
no, they don't.
It isn't committed.
No, they don't. We had ISCs for the whole year, and most of them are just like nothing, basically. Some of them were good, but most of them were like whatever.
Committed to a particular patch beyond the next 1 or 2, because they don't know for the next sort of 9 or 12 months out exactly what's going to be in a patch. because they need to be closer to the branching of that patch. Sometimes they don't really know what's going to be out beyond the next major patch, because these patches are constantly changing. They don't know what's going to be ready. They are delaying things. They're removing features. They're moving stuff around. And players that saw that have sometimes been a bit disenfranchised and upset because they saw these as like major delays or breaking of promises from Clan Imperium. Clan Imperium don't want that so much, so they only show a smaller way out when it comes to committed sort of
I mean, they don't want it because that's what it is. That's like broken promises. It's not like they said, okay, in 2 patches. It's not like all of the community was like, oh, in 2 patches we're gonna get this, and then they like took it off the fucking progress tracker and took it off the roadmap, and we all just outrage on Spectrum or YouTube or whatever. It's like doing that over and over again, and over promising and under delivering, and hyping shit up just to like not fucking deliver it. That's the issue. Current issue is them hyping up Pyro and server meshing in 2023. And in the same article, they said, let me remind you, I don't know if he's gonna mention this, but they said, we can say that we are looking to get server meshing in by the end of next year. And you know what that means. My dog is having a bad dream again. So, okay, let me just wake her up. Give me a second. I'm gonna play you some music while you wait. Don't worry, she's fine. Let's continue.
Expected features for a particular patch. Tyler Witkin, CIG's Silo, denied that the change was about having any less transparency and said that the amount of transparency they have is staggering. That's true, they do. They are the most open and transparent of any game studio, I believe. I mean, maybe you could argue that maybe there's tiny little studios which are technically more transparent, but I mean, the amount of information they share at Clan Imperium is staggering. There's no other game out there where you can say, who's your favorite QA tester? Our community knows. We take the level of transparency and we apply that to our roadmap as well. Yes, their devs, a lot of them are pretty sort of out there and don't mind being questioned and will take to the forums. It's not all of them, it's very few, but there's enough of them that where it goes, oh wow, the devs are getting involved in answering individual player questions. The article moves on to where is the money going with, I believe...
Should I talk about the John Crew untagging himself from one of the most upvoted posts on Spectrum that I made a couple of weeks ago? And that's the response that I got, or that the community got. Like, should I talk about that again?
I believe Aaron Roberts answering, we're running a staff of 1,000 people, so that kind of explains where the money goes. All the money is spent completely back on the game and developing the game. Right now, we have 550 people working out of the UK, we have 150 out of Montreal, we have 120 to 130 in LA, and we've got the same in Texas, and Frankfurt's got about another 120. When you're paying off 5 offices worldwide, and development costs and everything that comes with it, then
that is true.
The money gets used. They also talk about the Star Citizen refund Reddit. The article states, back when the player discontentment was at an all-time high between 2017 and 2018, Shin recalled that CIG actually gave everyone an opportunity to be refunded and processed quite a few refunds. After that time frame, people stopped asking as much. I think what you're seeing is there's a refund subreddit where people complain about things, and they're very much the same old folks that were there from 10 years ago. Shin apparently said that they've also had instances where they've reviewed accounts of players who requested a refund, only to find out that they'd sort of sunk about 1,000 to 2,000 hours into the game. It would be like someone playing Breath of the Wild for 1,000 hours, and they beat the game twice, and then go to Nintendo and say, you know what, I didn't like that you didn't have this feature though, so give me my money back. Shin also likened the development cost.
It is not like that, Board. It is not like that. What? It is like backing the game, spending your money on broken promises, and then not getting that, and then making a circle of friends that you just want to have fun with. Of course, there's gonna be like some Dark Knights there, and we have White Knights, so therefore Dark Knights. I'm a Great Knight, so whatever. But it's not like you're
to Blizzard's World of Warcraft,
like this is actually exhausting me.
and how
honestly.
it would be a phenomenal figure to if one were to look at the same period of 10 years. They go on to say, though, that, however, we pointed out that Blizzard has released games over
Like, he is currently extinguishing the fire.
the last 10 years, and not just World of
That's how I see it, and I don't understand why.
at the same period of 10 years. They go on to say, though, that, however, we pointed out that Blizzard has released games over the last 10 years.
Like, nothing
and
bad was said in that article that he needs to, like, make stuff up like this.
If one were to look at the same period of 10 years. They go on to say, though, that, however, we pointed out that Blizzard has released games over the last 10 years, and not just World of Warcraft expansions.
Yes.
But I would like to point out that the development costs that went into WoW over 10 years is what he was talking about. Not anything about other Blizzard games. They are a massive set of studios, Blizzard, like huge. And Cloud
Yes.
Imperium have been building up from no one to
Yes.
1,000 people now over 10 years. They then have some chat with Aaron Roberts
Wait,
again.
what? But also, they released fucking 2... Wait, where's my Blizzard? Alright, let's see what Blizzard released in the past 10 years. And also, most of those games were fucking the most played games, like Overwatch, for example. The most fucking played games in a while. They released Diablo, whatever. World of Warcraft, that's the first thing. They released that game in a finished state. It was not as buggy, like it was not an alpha when it got released. And then they made, in a 10-year span, they earned more than CAG. And of course, CAG is making their team building and developing, making a company, yes. But also, Hearthstone, Diablo, StarCraft 2, I don't know, I think that got released before World of Warcraft. Then we have 2 Overwatches, or Overwatch plus Overwatch 1.5, if you want to call it that, because it's basically an update. It's not really a new game. I'm currently looking at this at the Blizzard games, but yeah, like.
And Cloud Imperium have been building up from no one to 1,000 people now.
That
over
is true.
10 years. They then have some chat with Aaron Roberts again.
But also, it's not like that's the only thing they're doing. They're also releasing patches and trying to release a game, and no game.
The game is huge and needs a load of tech to be in place before beta. Aaron apparently says, we can say that we are looking to get server meshing in by the end of next year. Well, that makes sense. I was hoping to have server meshing in sort of Alpha 4.0 Q3 of next year, but Q4 does make sense.
Yeah, Blizzard has released the finished product, and CAG has released Star Marine.
With this sort of ongoing delays, as long as Cloud Imperium get a load of sort of features in throughout 2023, and we do get Pyro and 4.0 by the end of the year, and there's a load of other sort of features and milestones hit throughout that year. Great. There are some interesting statements from Shin as well. They are aiming at persistence at the moment and powering through with new tech. We can't change time. We can't make things go faster than they're going to take.
Now, the question is he going to talk about server meshing by the end of 2023?
We're in the same boat as those people. We're just as eager to play this full game as they are. A lot of the Star Citizen controversies go back as far as 5 years ago, so none of that happens anymore. Sometimes we have to, answer questions about the past, which is fair because those things did happen. But I will tell you that the project has not really been in any of that situation in at least the last 4 years.
And that is
they
not
do
true.
only have 2 to 3 concept ships that they sell a year.
That
now.
is him just quoting the article, which is not true.
And they
We
only
talked
sell
about
those at
this
the
already.
biggest sort of sales events. The focus is getting ships into players' hands and delivering out concept ships of the past. Shin concluded the article by saying, "What I would tell people is only play us if you're ready to play us. We're not asking everyone to come back and check us out now, which is why we do a lot of free flies, limited time events where people can play the game for free. What we want to tell people is, hey, we are a very ambitious game. We're early access alpha. Check this out. If you like what you see, because there's so much content here, then you should play. And if you don't, then I think that you should stay away. We very much want people to wait until beta if that's what they're comfortable with." Boom! That's it for your Star Citizen summary of this article.
He did not mention the main thing. Like, I can see the comments that you're saying that he's a paid shill. No, this is Kotaku. Like, we talked about this already. I released a video a couple of days ago, my reaction to one of his videos. He is not a paid shill. Like, 22,000 views in a day. He does not need any money from CG. Like, that's how it is. But he missed the main thing. We can say that we're looking to get server meshing by the end of next year. He forgot to mention that.
I did like the fact that the senior vice president of marketing was talking a lot there, because I've not actually seen him talk at all before. I certainly haven't seen any interviews with Elliot Shin before. Also, apologies if I've got his name sort of mispronouncing it wrong. It looks like Shin to me because I've got a friend with that name, but it could be Chin. I was reading another article the other day as well where apparently Star Citizen has been growing massively in the Asian marketplace over the last couple of years. So I think that's sort of interesting as well. But what do you think? Do you like sort of Star Citizen drama and the development warts and all? Do you sort of like go,
I don't like drama. I want to fucking play the game instead of reacting to videos, boards. Honestly, I'm currently, like, all of us are board gamers right now because we had a single patch the whole fucking year and we're just waiting on 3.18. Honestly, during most of the reactions, I was just checking the leaks channel on Discord to see if maybe they decided to push out the PTU. But no.
Previously, we also know that there was a lot of media sort of dislike.
He did mention it? Where, Remy? Where? I did not hear that.
Bias there, which has hugely softened up in the last 3 years. Are you a massive Star Citizen fan, or are you someone that's watching the project going, well, I like the idea, but I'm going to wait until it's much more complete if I'm still alive? Do you think the sort of development of the game is too...
Like, okay, so I can see that you're continuing to, like, make stories up. Honestly, I love you all, but if we're going to talk about some people that could potentially be friendly towards me or whatever, or I am friendly towards them, I have nothing against Boardgamer, but you need to understand that if you want to say something, you gotta support it with facts. At least on my channel. I'm not gonna ban you or anything. I'm just saying that, like, I really don't dig, I really don't like you guys calling somebody a shill, a paid shill, or whatever names, like, even worse than that. I know that you're being honest with me, and those are your thoughts. I understand it, but the thing is, without facts, without proof, don't say that, because that's not any different from White Knights that are saying that I'm not factual. Like, most of this video that I just saw is not factual, honestly. But, like, especially the when he talked about the guy that fucking paid for the game and asked for a refund, and then he made a diagnosis for him. But White Knights constantly say that I'm paid by another company to bring CAG down, that I'm making a lot of money for making Star Citizen content and bashing on the game and the developers. And then, like, do they understand that 22,000 views in a day is much higher than 357 views in 4 hours or 5,000 views in 2 days? Views get you money. It's not the other way around. It's not a drama. And I'm not making drama for drama's sake. I'm just, like, talking about things that piss me off in this game development. So hearsay is not a fact. Rumor is not a fact, exactly. So, okay, Knight Rider. No, it's cool, Rickback. Like, I love you too. It's just like, I always try to see the best in people, and I always try to understand that. Like, we had a discussion a week ago, I think, because some of you wanted me to check out the article, the Forbes article that like goes deep into Sandy's and Chris's life, and I was like, no. Why would I do that, especially on stream? Like, I don't care. That's like their lives and their like personal shit. I don't care about that. I read the article and I was like, okay. I mean, it's just like, I don't care. It's we're here for the game. We can talk about the other stuff. We can talk about. I know that you don't like me talking about politics and all that, but we can talk about that in our opinions. But if we're calling somebody, I don't know, a shill, a criminal, whatever, then we gotta have proof for that, honestly. Like, when I said that John Crew lied to us, when I said that John Crew lied to us, I provided you with proof. Because he said modularity is not going to be in the game yet, because the guys that were supposed to work on modularity are currently working on server meshing. That was like 2021, I think. And then he said that the Theaters of War team was supposed to work on modularity. And then he said that we're not going to get modularity before we get, resource management. So those are lies. And that's why I got a strike on Spectrum, and why some of you got banned from Spectrum for sharing that video. But those are lies. That is factual. That is proof that he's just changing his statement to like try to do some damage control on the stuff that like on the backlog, on the things that they're saying that they're going to do, but they're not doing it in like fucking years. So yeah. If you want, Grumpy, I can give you my entire folder full of proof. Dude, okay, sure. We can talk about that. It's cool, Shrek. No, like, I'm not mad at you guys. I'm just saying, like, I love you guys. I love the community around this channel and the Discord and you guys in the chat and all of that. But I just don't want us to turn into what they are doing, like White Knights, like J3PT, and Uncanny Valley and people like that are just like fucking attacking people and saying shit that is not true. Let's be better than them so we can at least feel better, first of all, and maybe we're gonna win like that. At least that's what I'm hoping for.
Slow. Do you think that Star Citizen is colossally mismanaged and terrible as a project? Do you think it's got a lot
Yes,
of
it is.
Overly monetized sort of ships and a bit too much FOMO and predatory monetary tactics? I just like covering Star Citizen news. I really enjoy the game, and I like having a little bit of a nod to Star Citizen's historical past and some of the silly things and dramatic stuff that happened. But whatever your thoughts, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Do you have eyes? I know I do. Do you want precise eye and head tracking?
Okay, I don't know if I can stream this right now. I know that this is he's paid by Toby or whatever, and other stuff. I don't know if I can air this because yeah, it's gonna. You know that you gotta fucking have a paid promotion tag on the video for that. So yeah, I'm just gonna stop it here. I'm gonna link this to you guys, and I just saw a comment. You can subscribe to Boardgamer if you want to. I guess you all are already subscribed. But Worthless Dead End said, I will say that it is suspicious that Boardgamer isn't pointing out anything negative, though. Well, like, you can say that, and I understand that, and I would agree with that to a degree, but also, I don't know if he has a real job. I had a real job. I was a musician, a music producer for a long time. My first single that I worked on for somebody else, for a client, got released when I was 17. and now I'm 35. And in 2020, everything just broke down, and the music industry in Serbia collapsed. And we got like we couldn't play, we couldn't do anything, and we got like $30 for the whole year from our government. So I had to find something else, and I had some savings, and I'm not gonna lie, I have a dad that is supporting me, and I had to figure shit out, and I had to do something else. And I started, like, I was fucking bored because I did. Okay, my dog is drinking water. I was bored and I didn't know what to do, and I was just playing games. And then, while playing Star Citizen, my friends told me, we just had fun, and I released a video, and my friend told me that I should probably try doing YouTube. And that's how I started. I never liked YouTubers. I despise TikTokers and all that shit, influencers of any kind. But then I realized maybe I can do, because if you follow me, I was in the protests and like since the beginning, basically since I was a kid, and I was always a rebel basically. And I thought maybe I can influence or push things in a better direction with a YouTube channel and maybe earn some money from that. And my revenue is shit. Honestly, like the most money that I have earned was from streaming, and I started doing that this month, and not because of streams themselves or like from the revenue of the streams, but because of you guys and your guys' supports. And that's how I'm gonna pay for my like monthly rent, $500 for this plus electricity, blah 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 blah, and then you gotta eat food and all that. So, but him having 200,000 subscribers and 22,000 views in a day, that's probably enough, like per video basically, that's probably enough to cover his monthly expenses. So him not pointing out the negative just works for him. Maybe he doesn't see anything negative, because again, I had a podcast with Space Tomato. I love him. And he called Salty Mike, Jeroen, Dig That 32, and me into a podcast, and we were talking about things that, like, if the game is good or not, blah blah blah. It doesn't matter. So there, I realized why some people are just fine with the state of where the game is, because that is enough for them. For Jeroen, for Dig That, the game itself, like it is right now, that is completely like enough for them to have fun in it, to have interesting things happen. It's not for me, it's not for Salty Mike. Like we have different opinions, we need more from the game to consider that a game, but they are happy with the state of the game, and that's fine. You gotta understand that. Some people just want to fly their fucking A90 jumps and look at the stars. And that is enough for them each day, every day. So maybe Boardgamer is like that. I mean, I'm not going to defend him because I don't know the guy. The only interaction I had was on his channel. We had an argument, a smallish argument. And then we said hello to each other in Salty Mike's stream, and that's it. Well, I said hello, and he said, "Oh, it's that prick, Grumpy Eye," and then he had a smiley face. So it was a joke, like obviously. But yeah, I don't know about the video. Honestly, I don't even know. Like, I don't even know if I should post this on YouTube, because that's gonna spark like even more drama, like between us, the YouTubers, for no fucking reason. And I can understand why, like, I understand your standpoint and why you're saying what you're saying, but I'm just saying, like, don't be like the White Knights. Don't call him a shill without a proof, because they're doing the same to me, and they don't have any proof for me, like, trying to destroy CAG as a company. Sure, a 35-year-old that is partially, like, blind in one eye and has no hair and is basically an ex-musician and fucking has no life. smokes cigarettes, streams, and fucking does an over-glorified desk job of making videos on YouTube and streaming, because I'm streaming now. That guy is gonna bring a $500 million gaming company down. The fuck are you talking about? And then they go on to say that I'm earning a lot of money. And I already talked about the revenue. The revenue is shit. The most money that I make is during streams when you guys tip me or whatever. But yeah, I don't know what to make of it. Let me check the chat for a second, and then we're gonna react to the last video. We're gonna check out the progress tracker in the end, and we're gonna end the stream. So I'm gonna take a look at the things where you tagged me first, where I skipped it. Now you know better, Grumpy Eye. I don't know what we're talking about, honestly. You posted that Atlas like fucking hour ago. To really know what's going on in Star Citizen, we check in on Grumpy Eye. Thank you. But you like to be objective in all aspects. That's why I appreciate you, Grumpy Eye. Thank you. I mean, I do try. Sometimes I get probably overly pissed off, and for whatever reason. When is my OnlyFans coming on? So when I made the channel, fun fact, when I made the channel, I maybe had like 15 subscribers. And one of the first people that I didn't know, because most of them were from my org or my like close friends, my fucking dad and my girlfriend subbed to the channel. And I had like 15 or 20 people. And a guy left a comment. Hey, Paul. A guy left a comment that he wants to see my bare naked feet, and that he wants to for me to make a OnlyFans account. So yeah, that's not happening. Maybe I'm gonna make one for my dog, and I'm gonna, like, I don't know, dress her in really awkward ways. To be honest, Star Citizen is a great game for streaming. You have tons of downtime to interact with chat. That is true. I love playing Overwatch. That's the main game that I'm playing in a long time, at least for this year. And I admire the streamers in Overwatch. First of all, they're good. They're really good players. And secondly, they have enough time to interact with the fucking player base, like with the chat. Like, how do you do that? I have no idea. You don't want to see my feet? I mean, now you cannot unsee them. All right. So let's take a look at the last video that you guys posted. And if you want me, I'm going to be streaming tomorrow probably too. And if you want me to react to something else, because we're probably still going to wait on 3.18, and I'm not going to fucking play 3.17 anymore. We counted most of the bugs. I have the bug tracker here. Where is it? We stopped at fucking 49 or 43 bugs, 4 working, one of which you decided that it was working. I do not agree. The A90 jump mission. 4 working mechanics and 21 broken game mechanics. So I know I'm not gonna play 3.18 anymore, but if you want me to react to something else, just drop it into my community channel and we can talk tomorrow, because we're gonna do that tomorrow. And no, so it burns. Feet on camera is bannable on Twitch. Really? Am I gonna get banned now? Puke face. Come on, dude. It's feet. Anyway, last video for today, and after that, we're gonna check out the progress tracker, and we're gonna see what's gonna happen in the next year. Or in the near future. So, this one is called, before you buy Star Citizen, watch this. It has 1,000 views. It's from Digital Master Gaming. Okay. Oh, Worthless. Thank you for becoming a commander. A patron, basically. I gotta do something else because I have a screen for patrons or whatever, a thing. And then thank you. And then I have 50 something people that are on YouTube. Most of which are there because Atlas bought them subscriptions or whatever. But yeah. Thank you, Sadiq. Anyway, let's watch this.
Are on the fence about whether to buy or jump into Star Citizen. Well, I am a longtime backer with countless hours invested into playing Star Citizen. I've been here since the beginning and joined officially in 2016. I've seen and heard it all. I aim to answer this question for you in this video. For the sake of time and clarity, I will give you my
I think the
quick
stream is
answer
going to get
first,
demonetized
but I
too because
urge
of
you
the
to
music.
watch and-
The yesterday's stream got demonetized because of Dead Leader's music in his video because there was a lot of pauses and it was just like music running and it got demonetized.
Listen to the entire video for the details, which in my opinion are very important.
Yeah, for sure. For sure, we're getting demonetized here. Giggity. Yeah.
So here's my table of contents. I'll start with the quick answer, and then
I saw this guy, and he started off with making actual YouTube videos, and he really tries, and I love that. I am honestly, I'm pissed off at myself that I didn't start like that because I had all the equipment, I had the cameras, I had the microphones because of the studio, the music studio that they have. Like I had everything. Yet I decided to have a shitty headset and sit on my couch and make videos there, and not care at all because I didn't really want to be a YouTuber. But here we are.
Right into the details. I will close with my final detailed suggestions and conclusion.
Yeah, we're getting demonetized. I'm just trying to
So
talk
my
over
quick
the music.
answer is yes. And you may have
So
expected
maybe
that.
we don't get it
But if you have been
demonetized.
watching any gameplay videos and thinking to yourself, this game looks like fun, then I think it's worth a shot. For $45 US, I don't think
Okay,
you can go wrong.
pros, only $45 to play. One of a kind gaming experience. That is true. That's why we're all here. Can be buggy and unplayable at times. At all times, you mean? There's a typo here. Learning curve. Yeah. Well, you have
dipping your
YouTubers
toes
for
into
the
water
learning
today.
curve.
There is a steep learning curve for which I am going to create a getting started guide. This game will test your patience, and that's because it's in the alpha phase of development.
I mean, if I do that, Rokumo is like the whole video is going to be distorted.
That said, you can also have an experience that you have never had in gaming before. Now, I don't recommend going just on the quick answer only, as there are caveats as I just tried to briefly lay out. So stay with me for a while as I dig a little bit deeper into why I say yes.
La 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 la. La la la. Demonetized. The music is nice, though.
Star Citizen, when it's finally
like
ready.
I'm paying for that's one of the expenses they have for YouTubing. I'm paying a monthly subscription to Motion Array where I can get music because I figured that I was doing my own music for my channel, but then I figured that nobody listens to that, and in some videos I needed to have like 5-6 songs, and I just didn't want to make 5 or 6 instrumentals just for a video because that will take a long time. So I pay for that. Yeah.
Star Citizen, when it's finally ready for live release, is designed to be the broadest, most complete, deep, and engaging gaming experience that you have ever had as a gamer. That's a strong
But also, it only has beams for everything.
claim, but this is what CIG is actually aiming to achieve with Star Citizen. That is
Hopefully
the final
that's
destination,
what it's going to be.
and in
yeah.
my opinion, a game you will absolutely want to experience. But the
Yes.
question is whether you should jump in now or later down the road when the game is more feature complete.
And I'm gonna give you my opinion right now. I think that everyone should try the game out like right now. Honestly. And if you can get through the bugs, then you're gonna love it forever, basically. You're gonna get frustrated and sub to my channel probably at one point, but you are gonna love it, and you're gonna stick with it, and you're gonna stick around, and you're gonna wait for the game to be in a more finished state. We are not talking
let's
about billions
talk about
of
what
euros
we have today.
deep.
We have plenty of game loops that you can engage in, whether you are playing solo or in a group. You can go mining. You can run cargo. You can run delivery missions. You can do bounty hunting. You can do FPS mercenary missions. You can go wreck diving.
I was not gonna comment on this because yeah, you can do all of that, but it's all shit and most of it is broken. But then this guy that's just like
mercenary
looking
missions.
at the fucking wall, doing nothing, being artificial without the intelligence, just it's fucking amazing.
You can go wreck diving. There's player-driven exploration.
Player-driven exploration and sightseeing. Those are not game loops supported by the game, therefore I cannot agree with that. Exploration. Here's a rock, here's a tree, and thousands of kilometers away from that, there's also a rock and a tree. So
player-driven exploration.
Is that exploration?
You can go sightseeing. You can do cave exploration. Yeah. Of course, there is looting and plenty of it. And playing in many dynamic events
but it's in a broken state.
That bring the entire community together. Now, you can also take missions from prominent characters in the game that have a bit of an arc to them. Going into 3.18, you can salvage ships. You can race against other players.
You will be able to.
Players around the Stanton system, and even do a bit of go-kart racing of sorts. Objectively, there is a lot to do in Star Citizen. And this...
Objectively, I don't want to bash on him, because this is not bashing on him, but objectively, all you do is grinding to get better ships or bigger ships, and that's it.
Is before even mentioning the emergent gameplay opportunities that you can participate in and create with friends and org mates. The numbers back this up as well, with an average of 3+ hours of game time per day per player.
This is really cool when it happens, but it just doesn't happen that often. Like when you try to jump with a friend, it's just like most of the times it's just desyncs.
2022. That's insane. So if you're into the facts and would like to pass on the conjecture, that's insane. Per player, of 3+ hours of game time per day per player throughout 2022.
Where is he getting that info?
Per player.
Because I would love to see actual facts on how many players played in 2021 and 2020, and then how many players played in 2022. Because I can tell you that my org of 30 to 50 people, I forgot, honestly, stopped playing.
Up as well, with an average of 3+ hours of game time per day per player throughout 2022. That's insane.
I would love to see.
So if you're into the facts and would like to pass on the conjecture, then the facts say Star Citizen is growing exponentially, and there is a very good reason for that. And it's not marketing, it's word of mouth. It's people like you and me sharing our experiences, asking friends to join in and participate with us. And once they do, they tend to stay. Now, to be fair, the game is not yet complete and can be very buggy at times. Most game loops are just at their Tier 0 implementation, so don't expect to play this like a true MMO just yet. We are a little ways off from that. If the next 2 years are any indication, we may begin to see a significant push toward that true MMO experience sooner rather than later. Now, when it
Hopefully.
comes to timetables, please set your expectations accordingly, as this part is my opinion based on the limited information we have on this.
All right. What can you do down the road?
So
the
by the
longer
time the
answer?
game is complete, we should have a full-fledged MMO that is ambitious in scale, its scope, and in detail greater than anything we have seen prior. I believe the sky is the limit for Star Citizen. But as with all things, once again, you should manage your expectations
This guy
responsibly.
is the limit for Star
Time
Citizen?
has proven that CIG can do it. All we have to do is look at how far we've come.
All right. Alpha phase of development, the longer answer. But what was the longer
So
answer
before
for?
jumping
what?
into the game, you should understand how it is being developed and what that means for you, the player. If you jump into the game today, the experience can be, at times, flawless. At least in my experience. However,
That's probably because he has a fast internet connection, an SSD, a good graphics card, good processor, which most of us don't. Because every time I fucking play, even though I have an SSD, but it's probably an HDD, but it just like looks like an SSD, and I have an M.2, but it's probably also a cassette player. But yeah, I'm running running the game from like a Ryzen 9 5900X and a 3090, but it's probably on Intel Core 2 Duo and ATI Radeon card from the 90s, from the 2000s. So that's why I'm getting pushed by the fucking elevators and fucking dying constantly whenever I play this game for no reason.
the game can also be very buggy and frustrating. Also,
I know, Atlas, it's the sky, but that was a joke. I didn't really think that he said this guy is the limit. Come on.
in my experience, it's a bit of a toss-up sometimes. We are effectively playing and testing the game as it is being developed and features are being added. The alpha phase of game development is where the underlying technology and infrastructure of the game is being implemented,
I don't know
as
what
well as
happened there.
all of the game's planned features.
You're still in 1080
Under normal
Ti. Dude, some people with 1080 Ti get more fucking frames than I do with a 3090.
Circumstances,
3090 Eastern European
this
edition.
phase is
Yeah,
just about
exactly.
adding those features into the game and making sure they are meshing well together, as in confirming that the pipes and plumbing are working just fine and cohesively. During alpha, traditionally, there isn't much priority placed on fixing bugs or polishing the experience, as that is normally reserved for later phases of development, like the beta phase, for example. With CIG,
Okay.
Star Citizen is sort of a live service environment while also being firmly in the alpha phase of development. As you can imagine,
I just
this
had
creates
fucking
a
Red
challenge for
Baron fly outside my fucking window, well, outside my house.
CIG to
Apartment.
both simultaneously add game features and bug fix enough to ensure a reasonably stable, live, playable game environment. This is no small task and certainly not easy to achieve, but CIG has been doing this for quite a while now. So when deciding whether to play the game today, you must take into consideration that the ebbs and flows of game development mean there is a bit of gaming volatility that you should always be aware of. The patch today
this guy
can
is-
be smooth,
is
while tomorrow's
fair.
patch can be turbulent.
Okay, monetization, managing the expectations of the monetization, the longer
I
answer.
will close this section out with a message
I
about
think we dodged
managing
it.
your expectations. CIG has been upfront about many things and more transparent than most gaming companies that I've interacted with. And I've interacted with a lot. CIG is not perfect.
Dude, when you
but no-
said that he's using his bedroom voice, I just started hearing the crackle and then like, yeah, hello. I just heard it. I mean, you do YouTube videos. It's not like people call me fucking Serbian or whatever, Borat, because of my pronunciation of words and my my voice and all that. And that's why I want to get my girlfriend on stream, kiss her, and turn to the camera and say, This is my sister. But she doesn't want to do it for some fucking reason.
Interacted with a lot. CIG is not perfect, but no company or person is. If I may suggest, always read the fine print, always read the caveats, and always read the disclaimers. Respect those things and do not ignore them. This can save frustration in the future and avoid mismanaging your own expectations. In the end, it's your money, it's your time, it's your energy. Therefore, it's your responsibility, and CIG is not forcing your hand. I do suggest taking in the information presented at face value when it comes to pledging.
Honestly, I think that like Forrester and Morphologist said like the how Star Citizen YouTube videos are made. Like they are setting the expectations and how it's done, basically.
And then make your final decisions with
voice.
all of that in mind. I only aim to give...
What you mean that would be hilarious? I already have a video, an ASMR video on... you're talking about Borat. Okay, no, never mind.
Practices that I have personally found to be helpful.
Can you speak?
These are things that I've seen be helpful with just about everyone.
I mean, yes, I can speak like Borat, of course. What do you mean that I can't speak? Oh no, I'm Italian now. Never mind. What do you mean that I can't speak like Borat?
Or super passionate about this game. Now, there is nothing wrong with criticism and dissatisfaction. Let me be absolutely clear about that. But there is something wrong with general negativity that has no basis in fact.
Where are you guys working where you can like listen to me screaming all the time and being pissed off at Star Citizen? I want that job where you can just watch streams and podcasts and all that shit. If you are one who wants to
play a more finished game, where you can work seamlessly through different game loops without potential technical issues or game-breaking bugs, then you may want to hold off and give Star Citizen more time in the oven.
Yeah, I'm from Serbia.
We could start to see significant improvements in the near future, but there
so do you know, fun fact, Borat was filmed in Romania. I forgot the name of the town. And that town sued the company, I forgot whoever released Borat, for like $1 million, and they won because they didn't sign any agreements. Most of them didn't anyways. But those they have, like it was said to them that they're going to be used for something else. And then like, yeah, they got all rich. So now they have fucking... so now they have... I'm going to try not to be banned from YouTube for this. But yeah, they're big pimping now. That's what I'm saying.
To be sure until we actually see it. Number 2. If you are one to want to be front and center to a game that is pushing the boundaries of game development, a highly detailed gaming and fidelity experience,
I mean, I stopped smoking weed a long time ago
to see what is there and
but I want to work
what
there.
Is being achieved.
That's a fun job.
Number 3. If you are easily frustrated or impatient, this game will test those things frequently, and you may want to stay away until we get to the beta phase of development when solving bugs is at a higher priority.
So,
finally,
for at least 6 months, I wanted to make a video on like, should you buy Star Citizen right now? And I wanted to hype it up because I really thought that you, starting right now, before server meshing, before everything else, you would have like a head start and you would have a better understanding of what this game is supposed to be and how it's going to look like. And then the whole 2022 happened. And the one patch in the whole year happened, and the like pushing back the 318 and all of that, and then on top of that, now we saw that server meshing should be in by the end of next year. So I'm not gonna make that video anymore.
Number 4. If you are unfamiliar with game development, or in particular,
and I really wanted to say that now is the best time to start playing Star Citizen, but it's not.
You will want to get a bit of a basic understanding, or at least basic context, before diving in with preconceived notions or expectations. I say this because I have seen few people apply the traditional game development processes to CIG, where CIG is
As they should.
approaching this with new ideas and hybrid strategies.
That is somewhat true, but also they have no idea what they're doing. For some of it, for the most part actually, they have no idea what they're doing.
So, what I have found to be true is that those who come in with the right expectations tend to largely avoid unbridled frustration.
So I would correct that, and I would say those who come in without any expectations. And then, yeah.
If you have questions, though, please let me know in the comment section below, and I will do my best to answer. If you have found this video helpful, please share with friends and others so that they can consider before jumping into the game as well. Please also like and subscribe if that suits you.
You are
With
my
that-
friends, I'm gonna share it with you. It's a nice video. I think it's like not shelling like you guys are saying for some people. It's fair, although you know that I will make it a bit different, but yeah. Okay, we have 10 more minutes before my girlfriend shows up, so we gotta go through this fast. As fast as possible. So, progress tracker. I wanted to end it with the progress tracker, and we're not gonna look at the teams. How the fuck do I zoom out? Where's the zooming out? Okay, there we go. But you're not gonna see it now. Okay, never mind. Let's zoom in. Okay, so let's see what's in the works. So, AsiaOne station for Squadron 42. We do not care about Squadron 42. Can we sort it out and just like disable Squadron 42? We can't. Okay. Filters? Filters. Okay, Star Citizen. Let's just talk about Star Citizen. Even though there's going to be some people that are going to say, well, if you look... actually, if you look at Squadron 42, you can see exactly what's going to happen in... I don't know why I'm Christopher Walken right now, but yeah. So, yeah, some people are going to say if you look at Squadron 42, you're going to see... what's going to happen in Star Citizen, but we don't care about that. We don't care about the stations in Squadron 42 because fuck that. So, aerodynamic control surfaces. It is due to happen in February. No, my girlfriend does not want to stream with me. No, she does not care about that. She supports me, but does not care. But let's continue. Just so you know, the progress tracker. If you do not know how to read it, it ends in June because they always have like a 6-month period that they have everything planned out. And whatever ends in June does not mean that the work has ended. It's just like maybe it ended there, but it's probably going to extend. So aerodynamic control surfaces are due to be released February, March. Okay, then nothing. AI untrained combat usable system and vehicle perception is due to be finished in December, probably in January. Pisces got released. Santokai is they're starting working on the Santokai on January, sure. We're gonna see if they're actually gonna release it. AR and map marker system, rework. It's supposed to be finished, so maybe we're gonna see it in 318. I don't know. Like honestly, I do not know what this is. AR and map marker systems to work with building blocks. Okay, so maybe we're gonna get. No, we're not gonna get a new star map. So I have no idea what that is. Arena command. Let me just play some music in the background so we don't get super fucking bored. So you don't fall asleep on me. We're almost there. We're gonna finish soon. Argo RSV, I'm super fucking excited for this because of the tractor beams, because all the ships are going to get tractor beams after that, and the Constellation Taurus is going to be fucking amazing, which I realized like a couple of days ago. Like, yeah, the Cuddy Black is going to be good because he has like tractor beam in the back, but also the Aquila has it on the, not the Aquila, the Taurus, he has it as a lower turret. So you basically see what you're picking up, and you can just like pick it up and just toss it in the back, or in the, you know how the Constellation looks like. So yeah, So I'm super excited about the SRV. I want to see it. I want to test out the tractor beams on ships. That's going to be really good, especially for cargo refactor and for pirates. Artificial gravity. Not going to happen anytime soon. Asteroid facilities. Not going to happen anytime soon. Ban on merchantmen. Not going to happen anytime soon. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, I guess you can see it. My camera is like obstructing a bit. Bombs. Just bombs. Okay. They're working on bombs. And they finished working. So maybe the Gladiuses and the other fighters are going to get bombs now. Like size 2s, size 3s and all that. Bounty hunting version 2 is due to be finished in March. Okay. Not that bad. Bug fixing and tech debt forever. Building interiors forever. Cargo system refactor. It's missing a tier 0 here, but yeah, it's finished. Cave archetypes, April. I mean, having different caves, we don't really care about that, unless there's some gameplay tied to them. Charge and drain tier 0. Are we actually gonna see it this year? Because last year I made a video of like what we can expect from the next year, and I said that the charge and drain mechanics are probably gonna be in, and I said that that's super important, which pissed off Salty Mike, and that's how we started talking, because he didn't catch the sarcasm. But yeah, Crusader Spirit is probably gonna get taken off the progress tracker. Cutting tier 2. Alright, that's important for the reclaimer and the counting mechanics, so you can cut the ships into smaller parts, so you can whole munch them. So, but it's gonna be it's gonna end in May. All back and tech tasks related to updating the cutting feature for the multi-tool that will be used in future location and mission updates, blah blah. Yeah, it's for the multi-tool. So yeah, the reclaimer is not gonna have hull munching anytime soon. Derelict spaceships, points of interest. They're about to finish that. Distortion propagation. In disarray ammunition, they're starting that in May, but none of that is gonna be finished in June probably. Dynamic events, you can call them events because they're not really dynamic. Entity properties plugin, okay, that's PS. EVA tier 2, we may see it in the next patch, 3.18.1.2 or maybe 3.19, from what I can see here. Flak ammunition, okay, May or June, not that bad. Freight elevators. We need freight elevators for the persistent hangars, so we can have our hangars again. So yeah, that's due to be worked on until March, and then like at the start of March they're probably gonna finish it, hopefully. Frontier clothing, FS tech animation, assets integration, whatever. Frontier clothing, that's the fucking clothing for Pyro, but we're not gonna see Pyro anytime soon, so at least they're gonna finish the clothing, I guess. Hex. Increase Hex tools feature set to enable player relations and developers to view and manipulate real-time data from all microservices in the mesh. I need somebody to fucking translate this, because whatever. Jump points, June. Ladders tier 0, tier 1. Ladders tier 1. That's already finished. We're probably gonna get it in 3.18. Life support tier 0, June. Lockable containers, March. Not that bad. Lorville Cityscape, March. Map and system radar rework, blah. I mean, I'm not sure that we're gonna get a new star map, but maybe. It's finished apparently. MFD rework June, so not gonna happen. Hull C, and I talked about this. Hull C is finished, guys. Like according to the progress tracker, it is finished now. So we may get it in 3.18, maybe a 0.1 patch or 0.2 patch or whatever. So yeah, hex. No, that's not hex. Hex is something else. It's not hex codes. Miscellaneous support, Moby-Glass rework. It's finished, but they didn't hype it up, so I'm not sure if it's actually finished. New missions in Orison. We're gonna get that in 3.18. Ocean shader improvements. Whatever. Sure. New player experience. That's gonna be worked on forever. New introduction scenarios. June. Never mind. Origin X1. They're actually working on it. June. It's not gonna happen anytime soon. It's a fucking small land vehicle. Why is it gonna take them that long? Outpost Homestead, Independent, and Outlaw. Okay, that's for Pyro. That's not gonna be finished in June. Outpost theme variants, persistent hangars, persistent enemy streaming and server meshing. So persistent hangars are gonna be coming like around May or June, and then we're gonna wait on for server meshing. And you can see that persistent enemy streaming and server meshing is gonna be they're gonna continue working on that. Until Hull C is not in game, it is not finished. Yeah. I agree with that. But I'm just saying that I saw it there and I was like, oh shit, I didn't, that was just a surprise for me. Physical damage and breakability. Physics, rope, simulation. Okay, whatever. Physicalized weapon handling. Yeah, like these are not really important. Player and machine physical interaction. Player interaction experience tier 0. So yeah, that's them switching from the inner thought to the just press F and everything works system. But they're already working on player interaction experience tier 0 and then player interaction experience tier 2. Okay, hints in interactions and visor and HUD and helmet. Okay. So maybe we're gonna get like different helmets this time. Prone tier 0. Oh, no, prone tier 1. March. Pyro space stations up until February, but we're not gonna get server meshing, therefore we're not gonna get Pyro anytime soon. Quantum simulation, they're gonna work on it forever. Quantum space travel experience. Resource management. Yep. Not anytime soon. Probably end of the year. RSI links. March. Salvage vehicle munching. Oh shit, they're actually working on vehicle munching? June. I mean, probably end of the year, but they're working on it, so I'm happy. Satellites, points of interest, seated in item handling, security network version 1, all of that is for like June, so therefore it's gonna be postponed. Like it finishes in June, but that just means that there's gonna be more work being done on it, or however you say that. Ship CPU. What the fuck is that? Designing and implementing computer blades for ships includes various blades that can be used to modify or improve certain aspects of a ship's functionality, such as unlocking more complex targeting capabilities or abilities. That's already done, but it's probably going to be tested out in Squadron 42, and then we're going to get it maybe next year. Maybe. Space mines. Sliding. This is all, like, fun. Swimming tier 0. But the most important things are not going to be done anytime soon. Then we have a bunch of unannounced, probably ships. Let me see. Unannounced vehicle. Yeah. So one unannounced vehicle is being worked on and is going to be worked on throughout the whole year, basically next year. We're going to get an unannounced vehicle in April. That's Invictus, so that figures. Unannounced vehicle. This is a smallish one. This is probably a land vehicle. May. Yeah, a bunch of like unannounced smallish vehicles and a few unannounced big vehicles. But underground facilities are going to be finished in April. That's not bad. I'm gonna check the chat in a second. Just let me go through all this. There's a lot of shit. Vehicle tractor beam. What? Vehicle tractor beams that were fucking. They were talking about the vehicle tractor beams back in 2021, showcasing how they're gonna look like, and they're not gonna be done. But they're gonna release the SRV, or the SRV is gonna be done. Well, like, what? Okay. Great. Nice. Virtual AI service, whatever. Volt parallax, that's just weapon, misfire and wear. Who fucking cares, honestly? That's what we need. We need another fucking buggy mechanic, honestly. Hey, Rafa. Weapon, misfire and wear. That's gonna be worked on until May. And then we have 0G push and pull. So I am excited because I saw that they're working on salvage munching mechanics. So yeah. Right, let me check the chat and let's end the stream. So you just work on the X1 every day for 2 minutes for 10 years. Yeah. Any info about crime stat fix? In one of my previous streams, but tomorrow in the stream I'm gonna read out all the patch watches that they released, and I'm gonna tell you everything about it. I think 318 crime stat for one. Yeah. We're gonna talk about that tomorrow. What is SPK? The SPK is security outpost or security post Korea. So on sailing. Clasher is Clasher. You can say pirate or criminal if you have to shoot a pirate that has 0 CS and is asking for rant. Dude, I will rant my fucking lungs off. Reclaimer station docking? Nope, but tomorrow we're gonna talk because they have actually like tweaked the flight model of the Reclaimer, and it's gonna be landing on planets and taking off from planets from like when 318 patch drops. So yeah, I guess I'll see you tomorrow. I have a video that I want to make from like last fucking Saturday, but I just don't have enough time to make it because streaming and then recording the streams, and then I got to figure out a more like effective way to do all this. But thank you to all of you for watching. I'm getting really tired. And thank you to my patrons for supporting me. If you want to support me, there's going to be a link down in the description of this stream. It's a Patreon link, or you can support me through YouTube with Super Chat and all of that. A bunch of people have been doing that. And another way to support me is by buying my merch. And the merch is all done by me, and it's all awesome. It's all designed by me, by my own hands, or with my hand. And people are liking it, and it warms my cockles when I see you guys in those shirts and beanies and all that. So check out the merch store. It's fun. Most of the things are just funny. I'm mostly not selling like fanboy stuff like Grumpy Eye, because why the fuck would you want that? I have a hoodie with that, and that's it. But with that said, thank you for watching, and I guess I'll see you tomorrow. I'm gonna try to make a video tomorrow for Sunday so I can have a rehab facility video, but we'll see if that's gonna happen because I gotta get some sleep. But again, thank you. 69 concurrent viewers. I see that it dropped when I started doing the outro, but bye, and mwah, and I love you, and I'll be seeing you tomorrow. And yeah, let me just play the music higher.